And I was telling him, he was like, oh, we're going to train somebody. And I literally told him this because I was fucking heated this morning. He was like, oh, you could train somebody else on that route Monday so you don't have to be on that route. Because you know they offered me Monday through Friday to run that route, right? Back whenever. And I told him that this morning. I was like, what happened to Monday through Friday? He said, oh, that's out the window. I said, give me a raise. Since I'm having to work on the weekends. He was like, what? He's like, me and your dad are going to talk about it. I said, well, you talk about our fucking raise. How about don't ever call me to do no favors again then. And I was like, he was like, okay, you could train somebody else Monday on this route and you could be like the floater or whatever. So I won't have to run the shittiest fucking route. And I was like, dude, you tell me I'm going to train somebody on this fucking route. I've done this before. These motherfuckers quit within like 3 fucking days because the route's ass. And I told him that and he was like, well, dude, he might not quit for a couple months. I was like, he will because he's a fucking pussy just like the rest of the people you got hired here. I was on one, dude. Just fucking ripping them.
Little bit of context, he almost quit his job this morning.
Yeah, I was having to lay down the fucking law. Because the merger and then the house on wheels just blows up.
Yeah, your truck just decides to shit a brick.
And I'm in a goddamn, like, U-Haul box truck. I was in that small one, which I don't mind. Because it's a step van. You can just go in and out all day. Go, turn around, grab box, go. That U-Haul type shit.
Where you got to get out and go to the back.
It makes you want to just fucking kill yourself, basically. It makes you, dude, getting out and just, the whole day, every time I'm in one of those trucks, I'm like, I'm just going to just bring the rest of this shit back. I ain't doing it. I literally did that earlier. I was like, dude, I ain't doing that. I just can't do the rest of it.
Takes 30 boxes back to the doggone terminal.
Dude, I show back up to the terminal. It's fucking ghost town, dude. I was like the first one back, too. I was like, I'm just going to turn my phone off, dude.
So what is this merger?
Express
and ground?
I just combining together.
What was the difference then? Like
Express was like at a different place. Like we didn't have no Express. And now we're getting all the Express stuff and their pickups and shit. And I might just need to get out of here anyway because 1 week out of like every 7 weeks, Express gave us, McKee has a fucking 6 p.m. pickup. So you got to stay out there to fucking 6 p.m. and go pick that shit up. The pharmacy, you know, the McKee pharmacy or whatever, they have a 4 o'clock one. And I'm like, dude.
Why? Because you could be done delivering by then.
And you'll be sitting out there.
And you just have to go sit and wait for the pickup.
Yeah, I can't do it. Dude, they don't pay me enough for that. They do not. I'm telling you, dude.
Sit in front of the McKee pharmacy until 4 o'clock.
Shit is just coming to a head, dude. Slowly coming to a head where one day I'm just going to go, like I was telling, a man can only be so stoic, where one day I'm just going to go, I'm out of here.
I'm done.
Just walk away, dude. I might just take a week off too, and then go back working the gutters.
There you go. Burn all your PTO.
Just take a
burn
week off
everything
and just say, well, I have that vacation coming up. I'm just talking about just before I go get another job, just take a week breather. Like, okay, that's over with. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Then start the new job.
That'd be huge. Huge.
God, dude, I can't believe this.
My name's floating around our company.
Why?
We all got bought out by Hobbs and Associates, like a big HVAC company. They bought us. They bought REA, which is another HVAC company here in Chattanooga. And now REA is trying to get me over there. That was supposed to have been in the works. Talked to the service manager a couple of weeks ago. He said he was going to talk it over with the big boss at Hobbs, see if they could get me over there. It'd be nice. I think.
Where'd you be going?
It'd be same Chattanooga stuff. Like I'd be still in this area, just running service calls rather than doing controls. And they're trying to grow the controls department over there, so they need somebody to kind of come in and start looking around. They've got a controls guy. His name's Ben. He's an older guy. And they're trying to just kind of grow that department a little bit, so they need more controls guys over there. So I was told that I would be a service technician, but I would float around the controls guy, like when there's not really much going on.
That shit really angers me, though, sitting there texting in a group chat, oh, I'm having to deliver 589. You know what? I might just be doing gutters Monday. Just to shit on them.
Well, the fact that you have a work group chat, it just kind of sucks.
No, that wasn't even a work group chat. That was just my dad and my uncle. And my dad was sitting here going, "Oh, I'm having delivered the fucking. You know what?
Didn't call you out by name. It's just your truck number.
You're gonna be delivering a lot more boxes when my ass is on some roof somewhere." One day.
It's a bad time of year to be doing that, though.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Speaking of which, we finally just got our pool.
Yeah, that's
Finally got the fucking pool. Oh, it's so nice, too. We was in it most of the day today.
And yesterday?
Oh, and yesterday. The youngin' in there is just loving it. She's a water bug from hell. She's loving that.
Where did y'all get that from?
We had to fight tooth and nail to fucking get it. Lauren had placed an order for a pool through Walmart. Well, originally
probably everybody's ordering a pool right now.
Originally, we started with Costco.
Yeah.
We were at last weekend. I had to take the youngin' over to a little birthday party for a school friend. And as we were just sitting there in the sun and sweating our asses off because we weren't playing in the water, she started looking for a pool. She found one through Costco. It's $160. 32 foot long, 16 foot wide rectangular pool. $160. Only available July 1st through July 3rd. You had 3 days to buy it. That was it. So we thought, oh man, that's a fucking steal. That's a steal. Yeah. They're going to run this sale for 3 days. That is cheap as shit for a pool that size. Holy moly. So she placed the order through it. Had to create a PayPal to do it because she couldn't pay any other way. The website wasn't letting her pay any other way except through PayPal. Exactly. Turns out it was a scam. Oh my God. The lady that had the listing made on Costco's website was a third-party seller affiliated with PayPal. Turns out it was a scam. She got scammed out of $160 to buy a pool. So that was from Costco's website. So she emailed everybody and was like, "This is fucking wrong. Like, the fuck." Costco and PayPal both come in and said, "We're gonna give you your money back. We're gonna give you your money back." Okay, thanks. Call the Fort O Walmart. Hey, do y'all have this pool? Yeah. We'll put your name on it. You can come pick it up 9 a.m. tomorrow. And this was Friday morning. Or Thursday morning. Yeah, Thursday morning. You can come pick it up 9 a.m. Thursday morning. We'll have it ready for you. Wake up next morning. It's like 7 o'clock. Getting ready to go get it. She checks her phone. She's got notifications. They changed the pickup time to 6 a.m. And then at 7 a.m., right when we woke up, said product unavailable.
Oh, my God.
They sold it to somebody. Motherfuck. So we went to the Lafayette Walmart thinking, we'll just go buy one in person. Like right there in the store.
Yeah.
We get there. I find where the pools are supposed to be. There's no pools. And I asked the lady that was there stocking the shelf, I said, "Do y'all not have any pools, like big pools?" And she said, "No, we cannot keep them in stock. Like they're gone. I'm just putting pool noodles here because the pools are gone." And the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, there's got to be somewhere else we can go to buy a fucking pool. There's got to be something. So she pulls up the Academy website. Yeah. Academy Sports and Outdoors. They've got pools straight from Lafayette all the way out to Gun Barrel to go to that Academy out there. 45-minute drive. Get out there. I get to the pool section. There's a pool, but it ain't the one we was looking at. And it ain't the one that the website said they had in stock. Motherfucker. We're pissed. We're pissed. Because we came for a pool, and y'all don't have it. And finally, she asked the lady that was working there stocking some T-shirts, "Can you run this number for us? Because we want this pool." She ran the number, went back into the back, came back and gave us a thumbs up, and said, "It's on its way to the front of the store." Yes! Got home, set it up, built it. It took a day and a half to fill it the fuck up. Yeah. We didn't get to play in it first day. We had to wait a whole another day before there was enough water in it to play in.
Gigantic.
Oh yeah, the water bill's gonna be terrible. There goes the water bill.
Oh, and then all the chemicals and shit are expensive as fuck too.
I put some chlorine in it. We learned our mistake, or I learned my mistake. I just threw the chlorine tablets in it because when we had a pool when I was a kid, we would buy like the big chlorine tablets and just chunk them in there and let them dissolve overnight. Now it's chlorinated. Hooray! Well, turns out the tablets that I had were slow dissolving inline like pump tablets. You're supposed to put all 14 of them into an inline pump because they're slow dissolving. So I put 6 of them in the pool. Just thought, they'll be fine. Come back the next morning, it bleached the fuck out of the liner. There was like 6 little circles in the pool, just where those tablets were sitting. It bleached the bottom of the liner, and I went, not supposed to do that. So I just hung them in a little sack and put it on the side of the pool. I was like, chlorinate it. I got to shock it tonight, though, because it's getting kind of cloudy. I got to put some shock and put all that stuff in it and actually start maintaining the water, because it's going to be up for a minute.
Yeah.
I've never had to maintain a pool myself, and it's been a learning experience.
Did you look it up?
No, I read the directions on the back of the chemical box after I had already thrown the chlorine tablets in the water. So I come back this morning, I was like, why is that green? Like, that's a different color. Oh, shit, it's getting bleached. So I started reading the directions on the back of the box. I was like, yeah, these are supposed to go in the pump, not in the pool. They're supposed to go in the pump. And I went, our pump doesn't do that. So I'm going to have to find a way to just keep them in the water without being on the bottom. I just found a little net bag and put all the chlorine tablets in there and hung it up on the side of the pool.
Hell yeah.
We're getting there. It's nice. Played in it today. Got a little sunburned. I feel kind of stingy.
I got burned whenever we went jet skiing.
I fucking bet. You sent me those videos. I was like, this motherfucker's up. Where'd you go?
Down the Tennessee River.
Yeah.
Like, you know where Ghost Adventures is? Or what's that shit called? That little brick. It's close to like Jasper. Just down the Tennessee River.
I have no idea.
Ghost Adventures went to that like haunted fucking the bar thing.
Yeah.
That anyway, yeah.
Yeah. I know where you're talking about.
That's where it was. Just
Hell
up and down the Tennessee River. Dude, those things go 70.
Damn.
Dude, and if you hit somebody's like wave going that fast, it about launches you the fuck off, dude.
I've never been on a jet ski before.
That was the first time I ever went.
Yeah.
It was sick.
Fuck yeah. Those videos you sent me, I was like, that looks fun as fuck.
That is huge he had huge speakers on the side of them and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is sick.
Did you go out and rent them?
No, it was my cousin knows this dude that just has them, and he was like one of her customers at Golden Crown. He was like, hey, if you ever want to take out my jet skis, just give me a call. And she called him, and she called me, and she was like, you want to go jet ski? And I was like, yeah. Sick.
Hell yeah.
I almost
don't even
wanted
have to pay for them, just go out and ride them?
Yeah.
Damn.
And that dude comes in and gives her like $100. He's an old geezer man, dude. He's probably trying to give him my damn 30-year-old cousin. Because she was trying to get down off the jet ski too, and he was like, "Oh, here, let me help you." He just grabs her like, and he's a geezer, and I was just sitting over there with my sunglasses on, like,
ooh, here it comes, there it is. Deal with that, have fun with that.
And I told her on her way back, I was like, "He's gonna think about that for years." I was like, "He's gonna be thinking about that tonight too."
Oh no,
she's just sick.
Hell yeah, that's cool though. Being able to have the opportunity to go out and drive those fuckers. I bet that'd be so fun.
I was thinking about
I used to love being in a boat.
On the beach. Whenever I go to Cocoa Beach, I was thinking about renting some, but I was like, dude, if I'm going like 70 on one and I hit an actual wave, dude, I'll be launched like 60 feet in the air.
Welcome to NASA.
NASA's right down the street.
Welcome to NASA. You've been sent into the stratosphere.
I'm just going to go in there and just on the tour, I'm just going to say, y'all didn't actually go to the moon. It's probably gonna, hell, they've probably heard that a million times, though.
Just crumple it up and put it in the microwave and say, how'd that make it through space?
Dude, they can't even get through the fucking, what is that radiation belt called?
The O'Vallen something? Van Allen.
Van
Allen radiation belt.
They said it's like getting like 10,000 x-rays if you go through it.
Yeah. We can't get through it. Then Here we go again.
Then why'd they say
falsifying the moon landing?
Did you hear Joe Rogan the other day? That dude asked him, he was like, do you really for real think we went to the moon? And Joe Rogan was like, honestly, no.
It's really hard to believe that we got through that with the technology of that time.
Because Russia was like, you hear like what Russia said about it? They're like, oh yeah, America went to the moon. Because like they sent a monkey up to like test to see if you could go through the Van Allen radiation belt, and the monkey just got fried immediately.
Yeah. Anything they sent up there that was living come back dead.
Yeah. And Russia was like, dude, we tried to send a fucking monkey up there. It literally got fried.
Immediately. You can't.
And didn't they send a
help.
ton of astronauts too, or cosmonauts that got just
I
fried?
have no idea about the Russian space program,
The cosmonauts.
but
too.
just judging off what I know about the way the solar system is working, there ain't no fucking way we got through that.
Dude,
Like I've said on
That's
previous
technically-
episodes, they nuked a fucking hole in the atmosphere trying
Project
to create a
Starburst.
hole big enough to get through it. And now
didn't they
we
say
have
though?
a hole in the
They
ozone
say if
layer.
you go from Antarctica though, you can make it.
I mean, maybe.
Allegedly.
The way that it's shaped around the globe, maybe. Maybe there's a spot thin enough you can get through
Or if the
it.
Earth is flat, dude, what if it's just a firmament and you just hit the damn glass?
Oh,
whatever the
that's,
fuck's up there.
no.
That's technically a firmament, the Van Allen radiation belt. Because if you can't get through, well, I guess you could send stuff through it. You know, like the Voyager. That's just
Yeah.
dude. That thing's just out there with the golden record on it, just allegedly out there, fucking millions of miles outside
Sending
of the solar
it.
system. Hauling ass in deep ass space.
I mean, don't get me
I'm-
wrong.
every
I
time-
love space,
every
but I don't like
time-
thinking about it.
Every time I get on Twitter, it talks about. I follow this one page about space, and it's always showing like what's that new telescope?
The James Webb.
Yeah, it's like seeing stuff that's like way, way, way further out, and it's like it's actually older.
Yeah.
and then they keep finding out that it's older and
keep
older and older
trying
and older.
to like justify. Okay, it's only this old, and then James Webb comes back with some new pictures, and they're like, fuck.
Do you see that one the other day that was like this universe shouldn't exist because like the stars are like too new or something, and it's like so far out. They're like, there's no way that should exist if the Big Bang was like actually a thing.
Yeah,
because
like something has been formed since we've been
what
here.
if it's a universe right next to our universe?
Terrible. Well, hell, you seen the pictures from James? Well, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. They took a picture of the darkest spot in the sky where there was no stars. They found
like
a
that void.
They found a void.
Ain't they called the Boots Void? Like BOOTES?
Something funky like that.
Yeah, it sounds like Booty's Void.
They zoomed that fucker into that and found more shit.
Yeah, it was just like clustered.
It
all
was
in
just so far away that the light is not reaching us.
there. Yeah.
And they found like, oh shit, there's a whole nother like galaxy in this one tiny little ass hole in our observable.
Have you heard of this one? There's some stuff that's moving, so we're moving too, and then like there's stuff that's moving other way, and like it's moving. We're moving so fast, like far apart that the speed. It's like faster than the speed.
That's
of light.
moving faster than we are, so it looks like the light's going away from us, but it's actually just moving faster than we are.
But I'm saying like there's shit like we'll never see because it's moving.
It's
faster,
so far away.
and the speed of light like can't catch up to where it'll actually get here.
Yeah. Like we're
Have
at
you
the
heard
end
of-
of the spectrum, just following behind a laser pointer.
You know, back in the day, the old astronomers, they would sit in a dark house all day to like make their eyes really, really, really like,
Keen to darkness.
and then they would walk outside and just sit there and stare and like try to absorb all the fucking light. That's another one. They said you would need a 60-foot wide telescope to see that American flag on the moon. And the biggest we got's like 30. And I'm like, why don't we just build a 60-foot one? And somebody pointed at the spot where the American flag is on the moon and just proved to everybody that we actually went.
They have that technology, but they're not going to give us. They're not going to give it to us civilians.
Why don't they just build it? Why don't they just build it and
probably
take a
don't
picture?
have access to that technology.
You can't put a damn 60-foot mirror or whatever, like telescope.
I have no idea. Oh, like all the civilian bought telescopes that I've ever played with, you can look at the moon and see the textures of it. But
I
you can't
kind of want to
look at
get
it.
one of those big ones.
I bought one not too long ago. I say long, it was a couple of years ago. It was a fat freaking thing. I mean, like the end of it's like this big around, and it's only just a couple foot long, just like a little stargazing. Look at the pretty colors. And I could not, for the life of me, figure out how to put it the fuck together. I was like, what the hell? Because it come in like 15 different pieces. I was expecting to get a tripod and a fucking tube,
Yeah.
and it did not happen.
Dude.
I had to put all the lenses in it and everything.
And ain't the James Webb, ain't it taking pictures in like ultraviolet?
Yeah.
It's like
I
stuff
think
like
it
we
has,
can't
like,
see with our eye.
advanced stuff that can pick up light levels that our eyes can't see. So that's where you get those like those gas clouds that are like just floating around in the fucking universe.
You know what's
out there
fucked up? We can only see like the smallest little band
of the color spectrum. Yeah.
and then like the thing, so we can see like this much, but it's actually like that fucking big.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's
Infrared.
So there is shit that's going on
Ultraviolet.
around us right now that we just have no clue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just think about typical normal stuff like radios.
Yeah,
Just radio waves constantly just barraging us. Just all it right now.
and Wi-Fi signal.
You can pick up your phone, the Wi-Fi scanning the house, your 5G screwing with your head, radios
Dude,
playing.
I heard they're getting 6G and 7G as well on the way.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I seen an advertisement for
What does the 5G do though?
I
I've
don't know.
always heard about
it
the 5G
causes cancer allegedly.
from like how much it's
just
fucking
it's just
waving.
a negative frequency that the human body's not supposed to be able to handle.
Yeah.
And they figured that out and thought, oh well, if you're this certain amount of distance away from it, you know, it's
You heard Duncan
negligible.
Trussell's story about getting testicular cancer?
Mm.
Because he was like sitting there playing on his laptop, playing like video games for like 8-12 hours, and he swears that it's from the Wi-Fi hitting his fucking nutsack.
Yeah.
Because he was sitting there on his laptop like this for 8, 10.
I've
you know,
heard
playing
people
video
say
games.
that they sleep better by unplugging their Wi-Fi when they go to bed.
You know what? It worries me is wearing those Bluetooth headphones all day.
Mm.
I'm wondering if I'm just gonna have a huge tumor in my head one day from wearing them.
There's no telling. There's no telling.
RFK bold claim goes on Joe Rogan and says, "Dude, there's some studies that say Wi-Fi and the internet, like the Wi-Fi signals, like give you cancer."
Yeah, I mean, I've seen things where people like they swear by it. They unplug their shit before they go to bed.
And they got like LED, not LED, like there's a certain kind of paint that like rich people paint on their house, so none of like the waves can get into it.
like an RFID paint.
Yeah, and it's really expensive,
Interesting.
and they paint their house with it and shit. RFK did that. He painted his house with that, like on the inside, so none of the waves.
You're
can get through.
essentially creating a Faraday cage out of your house.
I wonder if it's like, because you know, like we were saying, technically there is shit just going all the time.
All the way through us all the time.
I wonder if you went in to like one of those rooms where it's like caged like that, if you actually just felt like more, like everything's like way more quiet.
I don't know. I feel like you'd have to spend an extensive amount of time in there to really feel a significant difference. Because I've been in Faraday cages. Nothing really changes. I know my phone just goes boop, off. No
Yeah.
signal whatsoever. But I don't really feel any different. You would have to stay in that environment for a good while before you got to feel if there is any differences.
What's that
And I'm
one-
sure there is.
The quietest room ever, and they're like, if you could stay in here,
Oh, yeah, like negative 47 decibels or something.
they're like, if you could stay in here for 1 hour, you win $100,000, and nobody's done it.
And nobody can get past like 30 minutes before they start hallucinating.
Dude, I could do that.
I mean, I think I could too, but I've never been somewhere that quiet.
They say you can hear your blood
you can hear
going
your
through.
blood flowing, your guts working. Like, you can hear everything that's going on inside your body.
Dude, if you just sit there stoked as hell, dude, you can do it. They said one dude got to like 57 minutes and just freaked out and ran out. And they were like,
they
"Dude,
start
you were like
hallucinating.
you were like 3
your
minutes
brain
away."
starts making up noises and visuals to occupy yourself, and it starts fucking with you.
Dude, that's what they say about those people in prison that they put in what is it? They put them in
Solitary.
yeah, like solitary, and like they come back out crazy if you leave them.
Your
if you
brain
leave 'em-
will fuck with you.
If you leave them in there too long, because there's like no human
That's
connection.
why it's
and all that
considered
shit.
a torture.
Yeah.
Is solitary confinement. Your brain starts to mess with you.
That's what. Speaking of torture, I always wondered how would Chinese water torture fuck with you? Because you know they strap you down to a table and all they do is just drip water on your forehead.
Right there on your
Just
forehead. I don't know.
Dude, I bet you.
I'm almost convinced though that if I was on that table, it would fuck with me. Because you're constantly in a state of anticipation waiting on that water to hit you.
Yeah, you just be
And
sitting
you
there
just
going,
have to like, scrunch your face and like keep it out of your eyes, and you're just doing that, waiting on that water to hit you. And you're just
and then they come back in the room after like 6 hours and go, "All right, now tell us what."
tell us what we need to know.
Dude.
Yeah, that would probably terrify the fuck out of me. And hell, put yourself in that environment. You've been captured by the Chinese government. Now you're strapped to a table and water's dripping on your face.
And they're just peeling layers out of your asshole, dude.
Yeah. Planting bamboo under you.
Oh, my God. That's probably what happened to Jack Ma, dude.
Ooh.
That dude rose up, dude. And he just disappeared for like 3
Gone.
months. Is he back?
I have no idea.
Remember that dude?
Yes, I remember. I have no idea.
He rose up, dude, and then he just disappeared.
Gone.
He fucking rose up, dude.
There it went.
Oh, at least we're in a... Hey, dude, speaking of rising up, dude, we celebrated July 4th, dude.
July 4th, I paid taxes on the day that we celebrate, the day we stop paying taxes.
Dude.
Oh, what a time.
The founding fathers fucking rose up, dude. They were like, dude, fuck this.
We're done paying taxes. Oh,
Dude,
wait.
If they
Damn,
were,
that was a good system.
if they were alive now, they'd be so pissed. They'd be like, why are you not
You're
fucking...
literally doing the exact same thing that we fought to get you away
They'd be like,
from.
why are you not killing these people?
It was like that meme with George Washington. Me and my homies would have been stacking bodies by now.
I heard this one quote. This was by Ari Shafir. He was the one that was like, everybody talks about, he was like, it doesn't matter if you're left or right, political change and all that shit. He was like, it never changes. It's always the same shit, the same people doing the same stuff. The only way you have actual change in a society is through violence. He was like, that's the only way. Because they're all on the same fucking team. That's a pretty radical thing to
As
say, though.
unfortunate as it would seem to agree.
That
with
was one of the founding fathers' quotes. Was
I
the
would
tree
agree.
of liberty had to be something with blood. The tree of liberty had to be watered with the blood of patriots or something.
Let's see.
Patriot, vampire. The tree of liberty had to be watered with the blood of something, of the tyrants.
It's a Thomas Jefferson, I do believe, from what I'm seeing.
And that's basically just saying, yeah, the only way you could change your shit is through violence.
The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Thomas Jefferson.
That's basically just saying...
Thomas Jefferson.
And he's basically just saying...
Every so often.
He's basically saying, hey, if shit gets real bad, you guys are going to have to fucking...
Every so often.
You guys are going to have to fucking rise
your
up.
own blood and kill those that are the sickness.
Yeah.
In order
The people
to
that are
keep the
trying to
tree.
keep their thumb on you and oppress you.
Constant battle.
People rise up, dude.
It's cyclical. It's a cycle.
And then we're 250 next year.
Yeah. The average age of every empire on the earth.
Before it just explodes.
Before it just dies.
Yeah. Dude, that was the funniest shit. It was Trump the other day. They asked him about Iran and Israel, and he just goes,
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
and then just takes his hat in his hand and just walks to the helicopter after. You understand that? And just walks it. Hilarious. See, he plays with my head, dude, because he does shit like that, and then the next day he'll just suck off fucking Netanyahu. But
It is
you know
all
how
just a freaking movie.
you know how like vindictive though, or like how Trump likes to get his revenge.
Hmm.
You know Netanyahu, like they were like, okay, there's a ceasefire, so Israel just shot off as many
fucking things as they could.
like
Yeah.
right before
He
it.
was like, I'm not happy about this. They shouldn't have done that.
Netanyahu basically shit on Trump by doing that. And you know Trump's probably just plotting his revenge, like a way to just do it. He's probably just like, dude, I'll get this motherfucker back.
Don't we have boots on the ground now?
No.
We don't have boots on the ground.
There's just huge...
I thought they were like mobile. Oh no,
I don't know, but
the Army come out and said we are prepared for whatever decision Trump
Steve
makes.
Bannon said there's huge carriers over there, though. Just
Oh, yeah.
sitting in the water.
Waiting.
Just like... But Israel could just do a USS... You know the one... Here's what I was worried about. Remember they did on USS Liberty? Trying to get us dragged into that
we
war?
put ourselves into the crossfire.
Dude, I think they might be working together on it because remember they sent the one over there that was about to be decommissioned next year because it was so old, and I was like, dude, they could easily just be like, oh, this is going to be decommissioned next year. The CIA
Let's
and
just go ahead
Mossad.
and blow it the fuck
And
up
blame it
and
on-
say it was them.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That makes sense, dude. I came up with that in my head, and I was like, dude, they would do something like that.
Yeah, they would. The military-industrial complex would most definitely sacrifice a ship in the hopes of starting a war.
Yes. What was that one that... See, JFK got shot for a lot of this shit.
Yep.
The one where he was the one that said no to that plan that they brought to him about arming Cubans.
Was it Mockingbird? No, it wasn't
No,
Mockingbird.
they were going to arm Cuban people and get them to come shoot people.
False flags?
Yeah.
Something. What was that? I know the name of that.
The one where and JFK was like, no. Because the CIA wanted to take Cuba back, not make it not communist.
Yeah.
And they were going to arm the Cuban people.
Northwoods.
And they were going to send them to fuck. That was part of Black Ops 1, wasn't it?
Operation Northwoods was a proposed false flag operation that originated within the Department of Defense in the United States government in 1962.
Black Ops 1 had a lot of the MK Ultra shit in it, too. We learned a lot of this shit through these. Those old Call of Duty campaigns got into so-called conspiracies.
So-called fictional stuff.
But it was all real.
Any resemblance to real persons or real events is purely coincidental. No.
Wasn't Cold War?
That was
or Black Ops 6 was also, that was the American side MK Ultra, right? You play in the campaign.
Oh, I have not. I didn't beat the campaign of Black Ops 6. As much as I wanted to, I could not get through it.
You play as your character, you don't find out till the end, but you were captured. They erased your mind. The CIA erases your mind, and you're working with, what's his name? The blonde-headed dude. And they're fucking doing the electroshock, and they're giving you like acid and stuff, and they're trying to get you to remember like all this stuff. But you were technically like a defect from Russia. But CIA wipes your mind, and you work for the CIA now.
No,
and they're
shit.
trying to go through your mind, like they lay you down on the table and like do
electroshock,
like the MK Ultra shit, kind of like Hale Reznov took that shit over and told Mason. He was like, yeah. Don't forget whatever they're trying to do. We're about to just do the whole 7-step plan here. Kill. What was it like? Kill.
Skewer the winged beast.
Yeah.
Secure the keys. Yeah.
And it turns out all that shit was fucking real. And then, have you noticed? I was listening to a podcast about this. I've been doing some deep research on this MK Ultra shit because they do it through the mainstream media and news.
Oh yeah.
To people like.
Easily brainwashed these days.
Like they just say they basically can. They say some people are like easily hypnotized,
easily manipulated,
and then like some people can be like easily hypnotized, and then there's like only a certain amount of people that like can't even be hypnotized at all.
Yeah. And
they say, hate to brag for us, but they say Irish people. It's so hard to like run bullshit over our heads because we're always just sitting there just going, yeah, fucking right, that's bullshit. Huh. But a lot of other people believe it. See, a couple, but like certain kinds of people are easily manipulated and brainwashed and shit.
Yeah. They take what's right in front of them for granted and expect it to be the truth.
It's like those cringe videos I seen you on Twitter of like the people that have like the blue hair and they look unbelievably ridiculous because they're so locked into that like left wing liberal
that tube
echo
of
chamber
news. That tube of news,
and you just see those people because they got like the piercings all over and then they got like tattoos and they got the blue hair and they're fucking obese, and then you're just looking at them like, holy shit, they're
broken.
This
is a broken person.
They're straight up fully engulfed into the MK Ultra.
They're in their bubble.
Mainstream media fucking bullshit.
And what sucks is that's a very small portion of the population.
And they're loud as hell.
But they're loud as fuck.
It's kind of... Dude. Can we pause? I have to show you this video of what's allowed on YouTube.
Yeah, it's fine. I need to pee anyways.
Okay. Dude, I seen this video on YouTube and I went, oh my God. How could they even get away with this?
We are allowed to say anything we want to.
Yes.
That is a ridiculous video.
I just got on YouTube and I just went, there's no way. I clicked on it and I went,
that is ridiculous.
Dude, it's because that Susan Wojcicki died of the COVID vaccine.
Died of the COVID.
She got vaxxed.
She was the CEO, wasn't she?
and she got the vax. And remember, she was the one taking
Made
all the
a
shit.
huge deal about it, and then
And
just
was
went,
censoring YouTube bad, and then just died. From like, I don't know what she died from, but
or if Elon is in the process of buying YouTube.
he's going to turn Twitter into basically YouTube, I bet.
Yeah, he wants to make it kind of an all-in-one platform, doesn't he? I seen he
Yeah.
was trying to like look into adding like a shopping section to it.
Dude, but that's what's fucked up. He wants to make it a all-in-one thing to where everybody needs to be on it. He's probably going to connect your cards to it to where you use it for
Everything.
the social credit score system. Possibly. And it's just a huge con game
I don't like
right
that.
now. Hey, look, it could just be him just, for freedom of speech, or it could be a huge con game. Remember I sent you the one about Peter Thiel?
Mm-hmm.
That dude was talking about, what the fuck is his problem? He looks like a lizard, number one. Literally in the video, that's Greg Reese saying, dude, this is the reptilian fucking dude.
We're going to get flagged again.
of the right
Reptilian
wing.
humanoids.
He was out here talking. That dude asked him, like, oh, so for AI and humans, is it okay for humans to be, like, sacrificed to all this? And he was like, well, maybe. But he was like, humans need to survive, though. I was like, dude. And that's the dude that Trump is, or that's gave JD all the fucking money. Because JD's real in tight with all the technocrats.
I didn't know that.
He is. He's big on like Silicon Valley and all that shit. But yeah, but he also went to Yale. Yale, the Skull and Bones,
Mm-hmm.
and the Freemasons and shit. What freaked me out the other day too was I went back and rewatched that while I was working out the Trump Tucker. I didn't actually watch it whenever I first listened to it,
Yeah.
but like I watched it, and at the end they done that finger out handshake. At the end, they both had their finger out, and that's supposedly like the Freemason thing. And I was like, not them.
Interesting. Interesting.
It could be. They could just be. What's it called? What's it called whenever they just pay people to say shit, or like, it's like counter opposition or something.
I know what you're talking about. I mean, like, well, Taylor Swift was receiving $2 million to support Kamala Harris.
Paid.
I just,
You know what I'm talking about. It's like
Yeah.
paid opposition or
forced
whatever.
opposition. Something.
Like just to have something out there.
Yeah.
That one dude got caught that was like, because I think that's what like the Tate brothers are. They have to be getting paid to do
I
that.
don't respect
They were cool.
anything that ever comes from them.
They were cool in the beginning,
I'd never liked them.
and then
You're going to have a hard time convincing me of that one.
all of a sudden they just started yelling the N-word, and I was like, "Yo, what the hell?"
There was something wrong with them.
Yeah, they did the whole sex trafficking shit.
I felt off from them from the beginning. As soon as they got popular, it was like
Jordan Peterson was good until he got tied up with Ben Shapiro, and then he
was good until, yes, I agree with that. He was good and not as censored. And then once he got involved
That's like
with
a
the
good-
Daily Wire, it was just over.
But that was like a good beginning point for if you're actually trying to get like locked in and start figuring stuff out. JP's a good one to start with, like all of his old stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, all of his old stuff really was nice when it first started coming out, and he was really starting to like make his
I
presence.
think the Daily Wire gave him like a shit ton of money though. But I was like, who watches the Daily Wire? And then again, I was like, okay, so where do they get their funding from? And allegedly, Israel just pays them a shit ton of money to just push that like right wing love Israel propaganda.
Really?
Kind of like the USAID stuff. Remember, USAID was giving a ton of money to like NPR and like all these left wing outlets.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, why is my tax dollars going
because
towards?
it wasn't actually U.S. aid. It was the United States Agency for International Development.
It's like, why is my tax dollars going towards propaganda? And that was wasn't USAID like basically just like the propaganda to overthrow governments and shit, and like all these other countries?
Literally what it was made for. The Agency of International Development.
And that's like the CIA's basically piggy bank.
Yeah.
Was what USAID was. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah, but to the normal person,
and it sounds good. Like, oh,
To the normal
USAID.
person, USAID sounds good. Like,
It's
yeah,
like,
of course,
we're gonna
we're
do
helping
good.
other people. No,
Yeah.
it's not that. The acronym has fooled you.
We're gonna pump propaganda into all
The
these other
acronym
fucking
has
countries.
fooled you into thinking that this is just us helping other people. No, it's us formulating the governmental structure of every country on the planet.
Dude, Russia gets me sometimes. Remember their old commercials in Russia where it's like, look, this is America. They're gay as hell. They're teaching their kids to be fucking trannies and all that shit. And I was like, damn.
Homosexuals.
And I was like, Russia, y'all are on to something here. 'cause that's getting me.
Homosexuals. Yeah, it's retarded. The amount of noise.
Dude, and I remember being young and that shit. See, as I've gotten older, I've gotten to where it's like, oh, I can like see it. But whenever I was young, it would get me.
Well, no, it's a new phenomenon.
No, like the news would. Like the news.
Oh, yeah,
would
the
get
news
me.
would get me all the time. I would take it wholeheartedly and just believe what it said and be like, God, that's terrible.
And now I look at it and I just go,
And then now you can kind of see through the surface level bullshit.
that whole Israel-Iran thing, too, all these politicians just, you literally seen everything. Like, they all got their pants pulled down immediately.
Yeah.
Basically because of Twitter. Shout out to Twitter. Because
Community notes.
you had people immediately just taking screenshots of like the exact same sentence from like every fucking politician, and it was like they were all saying the exact like it was a fucking playbook.
Like they get a memo.
Yeah, like
They
hey,
got a memo. Hey, say this.
say this. As soon as it happens, like say this. Dude, it's that same shit happened back whenever they were pushing the fucking vaccine. It was like, remember whenever the vaccine first came out, it was like, you will never get COVID if you get this vaccine. You will, it's 100% effect, 100% effective. Remember that shit?
You will not be able to transmit.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
Yeah.
God,
There it
God.
is. There it is. But who believes us?
I can't believe I begged people to not get the vax, dude. Whenever it was happening, I was like, dude, don't get it, dude. Don't do it. Trust me.
Thankfully, my family was smart enough. None of them got it. Had a couple people get it, not blood related to me.
Even back whenever
That were-
I
I was
wasn't
like,
this
hey.
deep into like how like, because back whenever COVID was going on, I wasn't this awake, should I say? But even back then, I was like, I'm just gonna wait and see.
Well, I feel like COVID was the awakening for a lot of people.
it broke a lot of shit.
That,
a lot of
that was
people.
the veil was lifted.
Yeah.
You finally got to see. Oh, that's what a lot of people got. Finally, they got to see. Okay, now I see what's.
Why does everybody just forget that Trump, and see, he still brags about it? He done Project Warp Speed. He's the one that done the fucking vaccine. Does everybody just overlook that?
I guess.
I like the guy though, but I didn't vote for him this time though. I almost did. I tried to, dude, and that
I know.
propaganda got me.
I know.
That dude. Here's one that got me. You remember Elon was on with Joe that day,
Yeah.
and he was like, "This is gonna be the last time you got it." I was just in the FedEx truck, just like, because the whole time I was telling you, I was like, "I'm not voting. I'm not voting."
Yeah.
And then that cast came out, and I listened to it that day on
This
election
is the
day.
last chance to secure the democracy.
And literally, I was in the FedEx truck, just like, okay, I'm gonna go by the damn voting precinct. I'm going to vote.
I'm going to vote.
And then I walked in there, and they were like, "You're supposed to be all the way down in Ringgold because my address is the one from our other house. You know, I don't want to give the location,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, you're supposed to be in
You're
downtown
supposed to be at
Ringgold,"
the other precinct.
because I was at the one over there by West Side
Yeah.
and down Cloud Springs, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." They were like, "You're supposed to be down there," and I'm like, "Well, never mind, not
Guess
voting."
it's over. Just not going to bother.
And that lady was so sad. Both of the ladies at the front, I was like, I'm just not doing this. Both of the ladies, these old geezer ladies, because I had like the FedEx uniform on, they were probably like, "This, you know, who I was fucking voting for." They were like, "Please, just go out there and vote." And I was like, "No."
Not
And that
worth,
cop just,
not worth
and the
my
cop
time.
that was standing at the front was just giggling like,
I don't believe I'll vote in the next one.
"Dude, I'm never voting again."
That's
Dude,
going to be the most fucking. We're going to be 28 years old.
I'm almost to the point now to where if you believe in either political party, you're just retarded.
At this point, yeah.
Because they both just got their pants
It's
pulled down, dude.
everybody. They're
Yeah.
all in. We have
That Israel shit really exposed the right so
we
bad.
have a one-party government, but we have been given the illusion that we don't.
I've always seen all those old memes of like the the dude, and it was like the elephant and the donkey, and
he's got the puppet strings on it.
it's just all one person. I'm
Yeah.
like, I've always thought like
The entity.
I'm just sitting there just going, there's no way that that's real. And then nowadays I'm like, that's real.
That's fucking real. It's right there in
It's
front
so
of
true.
you. The entire time, it's right there. It's all the same people. They all do the same thing. They all work together. They just try to create the illusion that they're working against one another. And we all know that if you want the country to function properly, you're not supposed to be battling each other. You're supposed to be working together.
And they just want us to fight over the stupidest shit too.
The dumbest, most mundane distractions.
But the shit that pisses me off is we keep trying to go to war. Like, oh, dude, the military-industrial complex.
I'm
is
not
just,
trying to go to war. They are.
I know, but they just keep going over and like just trying to start shit. We were talking about that. Like, we just poke bears everywhere,
Yeah, we stand there with a cocked pistol, poking the fucking beehive.
and nobody wants to go kinetic with us because we know how to fuck shit up. So they're like, look, that's just the CIA,
And all it does is make the rest of the planet fucking hate us because
that's not the actual American people doing it. It's the CIA fucking
it's these
military-industrial
money-hungry,
complex.
greedy motherfuckers up here that know how to print the guns that are doing this shit. It's not us.
Yes.
It's not us. And thankfully, I think most of the world understands that.
Yeah.
Because you can go just about anywhere in this planet, and they are so happy to see an American. Like, are you fucking like, fuck yeah, here's everything you could ever want from our country. Here, take it, please. Give us $10. That's a year's salary to us. Like, most of the planet's like a normal American citizen. They fucking love us.
Dude, if you hit somebody from like anywhere else with like a $20 bill, I bet you they'd be like, oh.
Yeah. And then our government just has to come in and say,
Dude, I
We're
was
here to
talking about this
conquer
yesterday.
everything.
I was like, why do they keep printing money and just devaluing my shit I'm working for?
because you don't own it. It's not yours.
Yeah, it's a Federal Reserve note, dude.
It's not yours.
Dude, what the fuck? All it's backed by is basically
A government for the people, but not by the people.
dude.
There it is. Just change that a little bit, and now there's the truth.
Somebody go give CPR to George
A
Washington.
government for the people, by the people, that doesn't exist. Now it's a government for the people, but not by the people.
And
And
I'm
that
sitting here-
is the cyclical happening. It
And
happens every time.
There's so many people that are like getting like awake. At some point, for real, the tree of liberty might get watered soon. Within 5 years. Within a decade, I bet, 10 years. It might get watered for real. And I'm not calling for this. This is
I
all
fucking
alleged.
hope not. Personally. It's not worth my effort. It's not worth my time
people
to
are
have to
gonna-
deal with somebody else's mess.
What if it gets like hyperinflation, like so bad to where you straight up just gotta rock people's shit? Because like we were talking about,
That solves nothing, though.
you gotta restart it basically.
Yeah, you got to restart. I don't want to have to be part of that process.
We could be the new founding fathers.
I don't want to be a part of that process. As much as I want to be a part of that process, I don't want to have to be in that process.
What about our legacy?
It's a wonderful, beautiful thought, and that what
They honestly were thinking about the future.
that has
How did they see
spurred
that shit?
every revolution, every fight, every civil war,
They had
everything.
to- I
Every
swear.
uprising has been fueled by the hope to make things better.
They based our Constitution, I swear, off of like the Bible, like the Bill of Rights, where it was like freedom of speech. You gotta have guns.
We already had the commandments.
And like the third and fourth and fifth is all about there's like no, the cops can't do shit. Like the whatever authority that you have locally or like whatever authority that like enforces the law, they can't really infringe on none of your shit. And you're
Yep.
innocent until fucking proven guilty by a jury of your peers.
I look at it like a tier list. We were given the commandments first. That's your spirit. Mind, body, and spirit.
I think they based it on that. It
Mind,
seems like
body,
they
and
did.
spirit. We got the commandments first. That takes care of your spirit. We got the Bill of Rights. That takes care of your body. The mind is up to you.
Yeah.
The mind is up to you. You have been given spiritual rights and commands to guide you. You have been given rights given to your body to protect you. The mind is up to you.
That's what was bad about, like we were talking about, like that Susan lady.
Hmm.
She was trying to restrict basically freedom of speech on YouTube.
Yeah.
And Elon, the one bought Twitter, dude, you just wild shit on there. And now we're starting to see wild shit on YouTube.
Well, I'm hoping, I'm under the impression of my own hope.
I think they just let
They've
it go.
not given me any evidence to tell me otherwise.
Except for that George Floyd video.
Except for that was fucking, damn. I did not expect to see that on YouTube.
George Droid.
George Droid, Minecraft, what the hell?
And they were saying some wild shit.
Yeah.
He's going to kill the only pregnant woman on the server, the Ender Dragon.
I'm hoping that it's just a matter of time before these companies realize
that, and they can't compete with Twitter if they're going to start censoring all that shit.
you can't.
Because
You can't, because if
he's
you
just
show
gonna let it
yourself to
rip.
be an extremely censored platform in today's
Everybody's
day
gonna
and age,
leave.
you cannot do that.
Yeah.
You will lose all of your users
Because people
almost overnight.
Honestly, people just want to be talking shit, dude.
It is a really interesting pastime
That's like a
for us
human-
as humans.
that's a
to talk
human-
shit.
That
and
is a human right, though. You should
stir the fucking pot.
because that was like 1984 was the one where like there was the controlled, like it changes the way
Orwellian.
if you can't say certain things, it changes the way your brain thinks.
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically taking your mind.
Self-censor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
That's
dude.
what they tried to start.
They done that shit to Jack Ma,
That's
dude.
what they tried to start.
Yeah,
COVID
they got
was the first step.
They got close during Biden's 20 through 2024.
They got really
that shit
close.
was fucking locked.
And
we were
then-
talking about this too. The way that the world is now, no politician is going to be able to do like the fake. Hi, I want to make education better. And
Yeah, no.
gonna do all this shit. Now, if they don't come out and straight up just be like, "Yo, this is me. I'm running for fucking office."
Ain't this some horse shit? Let's fix this.
If they put on that fake politician shit, like how like Ted Cruz, dude, Tucker just pulled his pants down, dude.
Bought and paid for.
He was like, dude, it says in my Bible that we're supposed to protect Israel, and Tucker's just sitting there like, what?
Well, I can see that argument because allegedly they're supposed to be God's chosen people.
They don't act like it.
They sure as hell aren't fucking acting like it.
That, and then he asked him, he was like, remember Ted was sitting there just going, oh yeah, whenever I got elected, whenever I was running for office, my first priority was Israel. And Tucker was just sitting there like, dude.
How does that even make sense?
I don't-
You're being elected to the United States of America's Senate.
Because
And your priority as a country
because
across
AIPAC
the
gave
fucking
him
ocean.
fucking probably like $20 million.
You know, you're worried about things going on across the pond rather than where you're at.
And he'll probably win again though in Texas, just because he's probably like the only right wing dude. Dude, can we put term limits on House and Senate too?
Boy, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice?
They'll never pass it though,
And have an age limit.
but they won't pass that.
You're not supposed to be above retirement age if you're going to do this job.
Dude, why the fuck is Nancy Pelosi still a senator?
I don't fucking.
And what's his name? Who was
But
the dude that
did-
got stuck like 10 times? Mitch McConnell.
Didn't you notice how she really fell off the fucking side of the planet? You don't ever hear anything about her anymore.
Yeah, because she's probably nearly dead, dude. She's
Yeah.
like 90.
She's, just still just exploiting the market
And they
making a
kept
bunch of money for
putting
herself.
And they kept putting Mitch McConnell on the fucking news or on
The
interviews.
one that had the fucking stroke.
And he was just sitting there like
yeah, he had a stroke on live
like
TV.
twice.
Yeah.
He done it twice.
It's like, bro, stop.
It's like, dude, why are you doing that? Why are you still working? You're
Because
fucking
that's the only
used.
people left on this. Well, okay.
that actually wants
That's
to do
the
it.
only people left on this country that want to be there because they know they can exploit the system.
Thomas Massey's a beast, though.
Those of us that don't feel like exploiting the system and don't want that type of power, but know, what is it? Who is it that said
That would be
a man who wants the power should not have the power?
Exactly.
The man who doesn't want the power should be the one in
It
charge.
was like George Washington. He was like,
I don't know who said that.
after-
I feel like it was older than that.
No, but after 8 years, George Washington was like, nah, somebody else do this now. Because remember, he didn't want it. He was the one that done the whole do 2 terms, you're out. being a lifelong politician is fucked up, dude. What a fucked up career path. And then they vote on shit. What is the insider trading?
Mm-hmm.
They vote on the shit just to fucking.
Okay, so it's from Plato. Those who seek power are not worthy of that power. Oh, that wasn't the full. Yeah, that wasn't a full quote at all. Damn. Yeah, I don't know. I must have just read like an iteration or something, a poor translation or something when I read that. But it was like any man who seeks power does not deserve it, and those who wish to avoid it are the only ones capable of leading it properly. Like it was something like that. And it was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because like if you're craving that power, you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
You should not be in any position of power at all.
You should take some smart dude that just doesn't want to do it, or that some logical smart dude.
I feel like that's the problem. Is most of the American people
nobody wants to be a fucking politician.
They don't want to have to involve themselves to fix this. They just wish everybody would think the same way they do, and the problem would solve itself.
But there's also a lot of crazies out there.
The unfortunate fucking reality is people are greedy.
There's a bell curve. Ain't it like 10% on one side, 10%, and then there's like the 80% that's like, yo, guys.
Yeah, and it's the other 10% on either side of the line that are running the fucking show and screaming. They have the loudest microphones, and the rest of us are just here like, get your shit together.
I'm starting to see now a lot of the time, whenever a politician or the news says something that's like outrageous, and everybody's like, what the fuck? Oh, remember that, dude, this Israel-Iran shit is like the perfect example of it. I remember this one dude, he was like a part of Ben Shapiro's whole cabal or whatever, the Daily Wire.
The cabal.
He posted a thing that was like, should the United States send to Israel or Iran any money at all or get involved with this at all? And it was just 97% no. And then he deleted it. He deleted the poll because it was 97% no. Because he was part of the Daily Wire.
What else do you expect?
Because it was on Twitter. He got wrecked, dude. He posted that like thinking that everybody was going to put yes, I guess, like the people that followed him. It was just 97% no, 3% yes. And I'm like, dude. And then he deleted it because he was on the Daily Wire. Because Ben Shapiro wants America to just suck off Israel.
It's unfortunate that most of our politicians want the same fucking thing, too.
Dude, it's because AIPAC, dude. That dude sold us out for a sandwich, dude.
$9.55, baby.
God.
I don't even know if you can get a sandwich for that much here anymore.
One dude. Trump was calling out that dude Thomas Massey.
Yeah.
Thomas Massey was against the Israel-Iran war. He's like, we don't need to be involved at all in this. We don't need nothing to do with this. They should do this shit on their own. We're not sending them no money. And somebody put at Grok, how much is Thomas Massey receiving from AIPAC? $0.00. He was the only one. He was like, dude, America first. And Elon immediately grabbed onto him and was like, hey, let's do an America first party.
I seen he was
trying to start a third one.
I seen he was trying to do that, and it had like overwhelming support.
Everybody's
the American Party. And
he's going to get shot.
I just think it's retarded.
Yeah, it's going to cluster up the butt.
It's just retarded. It's a waste of time. We've already got 3 parties. We don't need a 4th.
What's the third one?
Libertarian.
And there's the green and
all the other ones. There's like the ones that you don't ever hear about.
There's like 10. Libertarian. I like the Libertarian Party, dude.
I just wish they would all take up libertarian values.
I wish they would too.
Boy, wouldn't that be nice?
I follow that account. It's like Libertarians of Tennessee, and as soon as the Israel-Iran shit popped off, the account just posted, "We needed nothing to do with this. It's none of our business. Send them no money." And I was like that, dude. That's good stuff.
It's almost like if we were just to mind our own fucking business.
Yes.
Everything would be okay.
But the dudes in the black suits come into the office and they say,
let these countries live their lives. That's what kills me about all of this. All these years we spent in Iraq, Iran, Yemen, Afghanistan, all these, Istans that we've had troops in for all these years. It's like, look, the biggest thing to these people is the fact that you're in their country and they don't know why.
Yeah.
You are in their home,
And I
and you're
honestly-
military, and they don't understand why, so they're going to fight for their home.
I honestly don't look. I have a theory about the terrorist attacks and like radical Muslims.
Mm.
If you really were that radical and thought that you would go to heaven if like you would do like a suicide bomb or like a 9/11 or something, those would be going on every day. This has to be fucking.
Those would be going. If that was their religion, if that was the way they practiced, it would be, according to the propaganda of the United States of America, an endless war on terror. Okay. That part I might be able to understand if their religion actually was that violent. If there was things like this,
If they
going on
really
every
believed that,
fucking day,
they would do it every day, dude.
Now, there's also the point you can look at it from how many of these things go on that we don't hear about.
Dude, I just think
Maybe they are happening every day. We just don't hear about them.
the end of mine was like, I think the CIA just does like the Thomas Crooks dude that shot at Trump. That dude was clearly MK Ultra'd. How was
Now,
his?
was this the younger one, the first one?
Yes.
Okay,
The dude that
yeah.
actually hit him in the ear.
Yeah, the first one.
They went. It doesn't make sense whenever you start looking into a lot of this shit, dude. How?
Well, I
is
mean,
it-
you heard about his place being professionally scrubbed.
I was
right?
just about to say that,
Yeah.
dude. What?
Yeah, like it was scrubbed.
And then there was the dude with the phone that they tracked going back and forth from Virginia.
They tracked a cell phone going and meeting him that was coming from an FBI office.
In Virginia, in
Yep.
Washington, D.C. He was going back. It's like, dude, come on, dude.
It's right there in front of us, and we know it. It's there. We see it. We know it happened, but they're not going to admit it. That's the entire
He's
fight.
president. Why can't he just look into it? And Cash Patel, I hate him so much. He went on Rogan and just straight lied. He just went on. He's like, man, I seen. Have you seen
Stay
the
in
Tim
my
Dillon
lane.
clip?
Stay in my lane.
Have you seen the Tim Dillon clip about it? He was like, they're playing the like, oh, you don't know? Oh, I don't know. Wait, you know, but I just don't know though. But I could tell you this, but I don't know. Like the whole fucking runaround thing.
Yeah.
Where and Tim Dillon's
Beating
like,
around the bush.
they're clearly that's clearly what's going on there.
Yeah.
And Cash Patel was like, dude, I'm just telling you. That's all I know. And everybody that Rogan even said something like 2 casts later whenever he was on a cast with them with like another comedian, you know, just bullshitting. He was like, there's some people that come on here and I'm like, that motherfucker's bullshitting. He like, it was a quick, and then they went on to the next thing. And everybody knew it was about Cash
Yeah.
Patel. He was like, I
Yeah.
know motherfuckers are coming on here just bullshitting.
Well, he has said that several times in the past where he's like, you know, he's really proud of his ability to smell somebody out.
yeah.
And you know when they're being real and you know when they're being fake.
Dude, I see Rogan's got more patience than me because I couldn't sit there while that dude's straight up lying to my face, the FBI director.
Well, he lets them make a fool of themselves in front of him.
and then it goes up to
publicly.
millions of viewers.
Publicly
And then
allows you to make a fool of yourself.
And it's good that Rogan's got like a dude like Tim Dillon that's like a part of that circle too, because Tim Dillon just called that shit out like it was.
I would absolutely love to have Jeremy's job.
Jamie,
Jamie, not Jeremy. Jamie. I would love to have his job.
he just sits there and
Just sit there and just
absorbs
like
it.
watch the computers and then listen to what's going on and just make eye contact with Joe. And
You
Joe.
know he gets paid a shit ton for that. I could do that job. I swear to God.
Kidding?
You know all you're gonna do is click a fucking roadcaster and have all the shit set up and have the like you just move the look like the camera angles. You just click, pull it up.
It frustrates me so much when they're trying to look something up and Joe's like getting irritated with Jamie. And Jamie's like, I tried to pull this up and it's not there. Like this does not exist. And Joe's like, well, just try it with like put these words in this, like try this. And Jamie's just like, I'm telling you, I tried.
Joe's boomer though with that shit too. He's a bad boomer with that
Yeah,
shit.
and I was like, dude, Jamie has got it locked the fuck in. There's no
Yes.
way that if he can't find it, it's not there.
That one with Jones, the past one with Jones and Tim Dillon,
Yeah.
they tried to fact check everything Jones was fucking saying the entire time. Dude, they deleted the Jones Eddie Bravo one off of YouTube.
Really?
It was only on YouTube. Now it's gone. That was one of the best ones I've ever heard. He was the one where Jones was on there going like, the governor of Virginia was like, we're going to keep the babies safe. They're going to have the baby after 9 months. And there's going to be a decision made between the doctor and the mother on whether or not we abort the child. But the fucking woman had already had the baby after 9 months. Did you not know they did this?
No.
They do this in Virginia. I swear, there's a clip of the governor of Virginia saying, he's a real old Southern voice. He's going, look, there'll be a decision made with the doctor and the mother on whether or not they want to get rid of the baby, abort the baby after
she's already given birth.
And he's like, we're going to keep the baby comfortable while the decision's being made after she's already given birth, dude. This was years ago. Whenever Jones and Eddie Bravo were on fucking...
God.
So the woman in Virginia, if you live in like D.C. or something, you can have a baby after 9 months. Push it out.
Give birth.
You can
and
give
then
birth.
Decide if you want to keep
and
it.
you and the doctor can make a decision on whether or not you want to have an abortion.
Oh, my God.
And Jones was on there like, dude, they're taking their fucking organs. This is literally just organ harvesting vampires, dude. That's true.
God bless.
And they pulled it up. The fucking governor of Virginia fucking said that shit.
That's an atrocity.
They do that shit every day. That's straight up killing a baby, dude. What the fuck?
That's awful.
Look, I can give you, what is it here, like 6 weeks? I can give you 6 weeks. But anything over that,
I've always been very, very contextual when that issue gets brought up.
it's so hard to navigate.
If it's a product of something that you didn't...
If you're showing, no, you can't do it.
Yeah. There's a time limit. There's contextual. If you decided to do it with somebody and that happened and you're, the same age, you're trying to have a relationship together, something,
It's a miracle,
then
though.
you need to follow through with that and
Have
do
you
it.
ever heard of, like, adopted people talk about it?
Yeah.
Where they're like, please don't do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, still. Like
That one
if you're a girl and you're on the side of the road and the unfortunate R word happens to you, and next
That's
thing you know,
less
that's
than
a-
1.01%.
But it's a different contextual situation.
You can get rid of that one.
You can
but it's
do that
less than
within
1%.
a certain time limit. If you know it's there and you know what's going on within a certain
But
time
if you're
limit, do
dating
it.
a chick or you just like, had a one-night stand and it's like 4 months and you're showing and you do that, you're going.
You have to.
And you kill it. I hate to say this, dude, but you are a piece of shit, dude, for doing that shit. If you kill something,
Or especially if you're the type of person to just get pregnant all the time and do it all the time.
I heard I don't know if this is a joke about it, but it's like, usually like the people that are like the women that are like for abortion are usually real left leaning, like they want socialism and communism. Technically, aren't they making a financial decision by having an abortion to take care of their own money? That's pretty capitalistic of them to do that, dude. I hate to break it to them.
Oh God!
Caught you. Gotcha.
Still, that's
too, dude. But the shit in Virginia,
retarded.
retarded. If you fucking have,
That's retarded. That's a life.
that's a literal Jones. He might say some crazy shit, but that's literally like vampiric.
No, that's murder.
That's like vampiric organ
That is
harvesting.
Evil.
That's like organ harvesting.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because they're not going to put that to waste.
Those people, they have to have some of the worst karma of all time, dude.
Well, that's why they are who they are.
You think that's why China kind of gets fucked all the time? Is because of the
Probably.
one child policy?
Yeah.
Their karma as a country is just terrible, dude.
They understand that what they're doing is wrong, but they're doing it under the illusion of control.
But that like hexes them with
Yeah.
like bad,
And they know it.
What-
They carry that in their heart every day.
what it means spiritually is like you're killing a fucking baby.
You are carrying that in
you
your
know
heart.
if in my head, because I like all the spiritual karma synchronicity shit like that.
Yeah.
If I get a chick pregnant and I told her like, hey, get an abortion, and it's like 4 or 5 months in, and I told her that, I'd be like, I know in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna carry a something's going to come and straight up hit me
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, you're screwing yourself. You will
In
be
the
met
future.
with equivalent magnitude.
Exactly. And that's a
consequences.
huge one. That's killing a fucking person, taking life.
Yes.
And it's like, dude, karma is going to hit
Worse
hard.
than that. It was an innocent.
An innocent.
An innocent.
And that's the whole miracle of childbirth. It's like, dude, they literally have. How is that even possible? Something comes from our nut sack and hits an egg, and it just grows.
Life is created.
Whenever you see, I've always heard you think differently whenever you have a kid. Like, so, like, whenever
You
you
do.
see her, are you like,
You do.
Are you like, holy shit?
Yes.
Amazing.
Getting this pool has been huge. Getting to watch her play in the pool, it's like, God, this is a conscious human being that sprouted from my loins. There she
It looks
is.
just like each other.
Just like me. Bless her heart.
Now imagine you're in Virginia and you just seen it give birth, and they just say, we're going to keep your baby comfortable and just kill it.
There would be no more hospital.
Planned Parenthood. Didn't we talk about that last time?
terrible.
Their symbol is like a ancient symbol for like sacrifice.
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
I seen that shit on a meme. That's
Yeah.
where I get most of my news.
That's where your factual information comes from.
It's true. Fact checked by true American patriots.
Oh, it's a mess. It's all a mess. And I keep holding out the hope that everybody's going to figure it out eventually.
They're gonna never figure it out.
And they're never going to figure it out. So I just have to rely on that hope to keep going.
You know, the
That's a bigger problem than I can handle.
What is it? The World Economic Forum. They're
WEF.
they're renaming it again,
Oh, yeah. I remember we talked about that last episode.
and like every time,
Every time they rename it, some shit goes down.
yeah, and they're renaming it Revolutions. Or yeah, like Revolutions or some shit like that.
An unfortunate choice.
So I think there's gonna be fucking a couple revolutions going on.
It's all a book. It's all a story. It's all, they say these things, they do these things, they create the events, they create the chapters. It's all just theater to them. Play the symphony harder here, make this event big here, make this there,
And looking into
blow
shit-
it all up to make them look glorious. And
looking
it's-
into like Project 2030 and shit like that is like
Yeah.
is like dude. See, I like Trump, but I'm sitting here going, hey, this motherfucker is in on it. Like he
Yeah,
showed a
you
lot of
can't-
signs
you
where it's like
can't-
he's in on it, and
you
I'm like,
can't
dude, I don't
like
like
any
him,
of
though.
them.
I know.
You can't like any of them.
And then they're trying to. Well, we're already
I
monitored.
used to be hard fucking core. Like, right is right. Right is.
Yeah,
And then now it's like, I really just don't care.
but we were young and retarded. We didn't see the big picture yet.
Yeah.
In
But
high school,
now
I was
it's-
like, dude, I love.
I used to
Right-wing,
think
all
that
that
the
shit.
politics was going to be what ruled my life. I was so interested. And then now I'm just like,
And then you
I'm
find
so
out-
glad that I've deleted everything. I don't know what's going on anymore.
And then you just a YouTube video pops up before it got bad years ago. Whenever you're young, like 16, 17, a YouTube video just pops up, and it just goes, and you're like, oh man, I like Trump, I like the right wing, all that shit. And then a YouTube video pops up. The Bohemian Grove, all the people that are in power are all going to this in the woods out here.
Behind the curtains.
Are all going into the woods, having orgies, laying in coffins, doing demonic, and they've sacrificed a bundle of sticks or whatever. Like what was it called? Sacrifice your children to the eyes of Moloch, the owl
Yeah,
god.
Moloch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like you see that whenever you're young, and you just go,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then
wakey.
and then it's just Jones just with a camera in there, just like, oh, look at all these people. He said, and then that one he was on there, he was like, whenever they were doing the ritual, people were getting pissed at him because he was sitting there going like, man, this is like a really cool thing, and people were taking it serious, like he said, like it was like almost orgasmic for him, like they were sitting there going like, oh, like whenever the effigy was burning,
yeah.
he was like, and people were like, and the dude looked at him and was like, this is a really fucking serious ritual, man, you need to fucking like, and he was like, what the fuck,
What is
Like
going
filming.
on?
and then just drops that bombshell onto fucking YouTube. What the fuck, dude?
I don't know.
Why did
I
they
don't
sacrifice?
know. I don't know why.
All the most powerful. Kid Rock was there.
I don't know why. Why? Evil. I
Dude,
guess.
That
That's
means, for real, that means that demons are fucking real, dude.
That's what it looks like to me.
That's for real, dude.
That's what it looks like to me.
If all the most powerful people in the world are sacrificing a damn effigy to a damn owl god in the middle of the goddamn redwood forest in San Francisco, all that spiritual shit is real, dude. It's fucking real, dude.
Which means it's bigger than me.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
It's bigger than me.
I just think everything's normal, and then at 16, 17, you just see a video like you.
Yep.
Oh, what the fuck?
Now, here's the real test.
And then you tell other people, and they're like, "No way." And
nobody believes it.
And then you show them the video, and they're like,
Yeah, nobody thinks it's nobody wants to acknowledge the fact that it is real.
"It's real, dude."
Like nobody wants to acknowledge it because that's just heinous. Nobody wants to think about that. There's no way. No, it's real. And that's what we were told. And that's what you believe. Deep down, you believe that. You know it's real. And you know there's evil
and you
here.
can feel the shit, too. You can feel like... Like the frequencies, you could feel like good vibes, as they call it now, vibes. Good vibes, bad vibes. That's like the whole... Like whenever you walk into a fucking room... and
it's an instinctual sensor that
you
we
walk
have.
into like somewhere and it's like, this place ain't right. Like something's
Something's off.
I ain't feeling it. That's fucking... It could be a fucking demonic
there.
presence.
It's there. There's some...
And it makes me... It reminds me of like those Conjuring movies. You know, like how allegedly some people can like see the actual fucking demon or whatever
into that realm
and like actually see them, and it's like sitting there, and you're like,
shit my
oh,
fucking
shit.
britches.
Like if you were like your third eye was that open and you seen one. Allegedly, you're not supposed to acknowledge any of that.
You're not supposed to look at them
or like acknowledge them at all because they grow more powerful if you do.
Well, they grow off your fear.
Yeah,
because trust me, the moment you see something like that, it's gonna scare shit out of you. And what do they feed off of?
not if you're hammered though.
You'll just think it's a hallucination. Just dude, that's crazy.
That house at Post Oak was scary as fuck if I was sober at night. But if I was hammered, it was pitch black out there, and I'd just be out there. It was scary as fuck if I was sober. But if I was hammered, I would just walk through the house.
Are you scared of the dark?
No, not no more. I was as a kid, dude, for real.
Yeah.
Where you turn off the light and sprint upstairs.
Oh, I did that. If there was ever stairs involved, I was always sprinting up the stairs.
That's an ancient DNA. That's like because
something there
our ancestors were in the woods and it was dark as fuck and somebody got wrecked by like a cougar. That's really what it fucking was, dude. And that our old mind comes out and goes, dude, there's something. There could be something
out there. I'm being watched.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
That's probably why we're scared of the dark as kids and shit. Is because somebody got fucking ate by a lion.
I can remember the longest time. I don't remember if I was ever afraid of the dark. I have always thoroughly enjoyed being in a dark room. Always. That's the way I sleep. I have to. Like if the TV's on, I find a way to block my face. Like it's got to be dark.
I noticed this too whenever I was young. If you were hide and jump out and you were able to, I was always able to scare my mom. Like if you jump out and be like, ah, and like scare them like from around the corner, my mom would always be like, oh shit, like be scared. I tried to do that shit to my dad, and he's just,
what are you doing?
Yeah,
just doesn't. Your dad always knows you're there.
Doesn't budge. I'm like, I just tried to scare. I've tried to scare the shit out of him before a couple times, and he does not flinch. I'm like, what the fuck is up?
He knew you were there.
How?
I've got this young one in here, and she'll try to scare me, and I can hear her. I can hear her run to her hiding spot because you're in tune. You're listening to what's going on in the house. You have to be. Because in case some shit goes wrong, you need to be like, quick, I'm here. So you're always listening to the house.
There's no way.
Once you have a kid, I'm telling you, it's a different, you pay attention. Like
he never told me. He never told me that, though. He never said, I knew you were there.
No. It's because, what are you doing?
I
hear you get into your spot. I can hear you breathing as I'm walking to get closer to you. And you jump out, and the whole time I knew you were there.
How did my mom not know I was there then?
They don't pay the same attention.
That's fucked up.
They don't pay the same attention. I can scare the shit out of both of them all the time. Neither one of them scare me. Because,
Yeah.
like, I know where you're at. I know where you're at in the house. I know what you're doing. I know where you're at. I can hear you walking on the floor. I'm in here making her bed. She's getting ready to put her in the bed. I'm just sitting there making her bed. I can hear where everybody's out in the house. And then once I hear her little footsteps stop moving, okay. So I open the door. I was just kind of standing there for a second. Okay, I can hear her breathing. She's around that corner right there. Walk into the hallway, and she'll jump out right there by the wall. Rah! And I'm like, baby, what are you doing? She's like, I was trying to scare you. And I'm like, no, that's not the way that works. You just pay attention a little bit differently once you have a little one running around.
I was telling you the other day, my sister, because she's young as hell, she's still kind of scared of the dark.
Yeah.
Because she was like, what the fuck? Because I straight up just walked into the pitch black house.
Yeah, walked into your room without the lights on.
And she was like, turn the light on. And I was like, what? Are you scared of
I can see where I'm going. I don't need to.
That, and I just leave a weight out and just turn my pinky toe sideways.
Hey, as long as you ain't breaking your big toe.
Dude, my pinky toe, I had a bad one about a month ago where I was in the middle of the night. I woke up hammered because I was off the next day to like go into the bathroom. I'm talking door frame, full blast walk. Oh, I was hammered, so it didn't hurt bad at the time. I was able to just piss and then go like limp back to my bed and be like, okay, I'm hammered, I'm good. Woke up the next day and I was like, this motherfucker's broke.
It's gone. Gonna have to amputate.
And my pinky toenail was just straight up. In the fucking, I was like, oh
God.
shit. I've lost a bunch of toenails, dude. I've lost both my big toenails.
I've been very blessed. My toes have been fine.
I don't know why. I get hecks.
I've lost fingernails. I did lose one toenail on my right foot.
And the geezers always say, oh, if you smash it and get like the big black shit on there, like whenever it turns all black, they're like, dude, if you could take a damn drill and drill a hole in it and it'll release the pressure, it'll feel good. And I'm like, I'm not fucking doing that. Even though it's sitting there like literally throbbing, like
still. I'll put it in ice before I do that.
My dad was telling me that. My grandpa's told me that. He's like, dude, just drill a hole in it.
Poke a hole in it.
And I'm like,
let that swelling go down.
who the fuck does shit like that?
No.
I'm like, y'all fucking crazy. Have you ever? Oh, here's another interesting one.
You know, like, my ass, that's retarded.
What is it? Our great grandfathers, like three. So that would be 3 people ago, right?
Great grandfather.
Not just you could technically just
that's
say
your dad, his dad, and his dad.
Dude, they had to have been. They would be mind boggled by what, by like the technology shit now.
It's nuts. Blows them away.
Dude, my great grandfather used to walk to the fucking golf course in Brainerd where he worked, and like, cause he was like the like maintenance dude. And I'm like, who the fuck walks miles to your job like that and just does your job and then walks the fuck back home?
Apparently him.
What the fuck, dude?
I couldn't imagine it. I mean, hell, it's not even that long ago. You go back to the 50s with a fucking cell phone in your hand, you can
just brought
blow
it up.
everybody away.
You just brought it up. It's like, dude, that's like 3 people ago.
Yeah.
So that means like your grandkids are gonna have to be like. Have you ever seen that meme where it's like, my grandkids show me the meme where it's like because you're like neural implant or some shit, like they just hit you with it. And it's like, 10,000 years of falling through knives and broken glass.
I've not seen that.
In like 2 seconds, because it was just like a quick like time thing. But you fall through like 10,000 years. They're like, check out this meme, Grandpa. And they hit you with it. And it's just 10,000 years of falling through broken glass and knives. And you just come out of it on the other side like.
But it was only like 2 seconds long.
Fuck.
God.
And you're just sitting there going.
Check out this meme. Fuck.
And
that's going to be big, though.
And then they look at you and just go, wasn't that hilarious?
That simulated reality is going to be ridiculous.
Dude, they said that shit about people are going to be able to serve their prison sentences in like...
like an hour.
An hour.
Yeah, you can serve like 10 years in like an hour.
That would be ass.
And it's going to mentally fry the fuck out of you.
That would, because if you were in solitary, you'd have to at least have something to do.
It's going to fry the fuck out of you.
It was like that dude from...
You're going to wake up an hour later and you're going to think 10 years has passed.
It was like that dude from Ben 10. I remember that show. I always thought that dude was cool with the fucking doctor's coat on. You know, the dude with the time thing?
Yeah.
And it's like, He was like, "Oh, I was stuck in the like limbo for fucking like falling through the universe for like what, like a billion years." And he's like, "I went mad, and then I came sane again, and then I went mad again, and then I became sane, and then I went mad again."
Went mad again. Constant, never-ending process. You think you got it figured out, and then you go, "Fuck!"
Prestige.
I got it figured out. There it is. Fuck.
Something hit you.
Constant reset.
The prestige, dude.
The prestige.
Dude,
Level
literally.
55 acquired.
Literally. It's like just restarting. It's like, oh, you got all your guns gold, and then you just, something hits you, you're back to Ironsides, but you're the next prestige. Because you have all the knowledge from before. You're just back to Ironsides because you got to figure this way out.
Play the
now.
game again. Play the game again.
It's just constant. It's like getting a chick pregnant. You're back to Ironsides, trying to figure this one out.
Now you have a new task.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're getting a new job or like changing your life
Anything
up
like
or
that.
something like that. It's like
Here
prestige.
is your new task. Take
Getting it-
everything that you have gathered and unlocked up to this point and take it with you. Do it again.
You're back to Ironsides.
Do it again. It doesn't end.
But that's the whole.
Every day is a test.
But that's what's beautiful about it, though. It's the journey of life.
It is. Knowing that every day, even though sometimes it feels as if every day
Today,
is a
you,
completely different mess, you get to sit back and realize that every day is connected and you have built yourself a path.
oh, I've changed, dude. I've tried to stay stoic for so long.
You've built yourself a path that led you to where you are.
Like right now, today, and they say, dude, nothing is an accident. Everything happens for a reason. Then why the fuck did I crash the fuck out this morning, dude? Because I guess I was pissed the fuck off after getting.
It wasn't for you.
It was me getting just pissed off after months of just taking it up the arsenal.
It was not for you. It was for them. They had to see you crack
And I fucking.
to put the thought in their mind.
And I told them.
Oh, shit.
I laid it out, dude. I like laid out all the shit to them, straight to their fucking face. I almost had fucking tears in my eyes, like how pissed I was. Like, you know, whenever they start to well up, I ain't cried in years, but I was sitting there going like
Mad.
you know, whenever you get so pissed that like you don't even like want to cry, but you're
But it's
so pissed,
just gonna happen.
it's just welling up, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's like how. That's how much of a crash out I had this morning.
Yeah.
Of like how I was explaining. I was literally laid it out on the table, and they
Full on 100% negative for you, but they needed that
yeah.
to start the chain reaction of thoughts that's going to lead them to their next decision to try and help you out. Negative to you because you had to do it. Positive to them in the run.
I told you, I try to stay stoic as long as I swear, it's impossible if you're getting fucked to
Yeah.
stay stoic the entire time, because at a certain point you're just going to go, well, and it all has to like line up though too for it to happen, because I was hungover as shit. Drake fucking released a new song, and I was blasting that shit on the way to work all morning. I was on one from the time I fucking woke up. Because I went and woke my sister up on purpose just to piss her off this morning, too. 'Cause I was blasting that Drake song out of my phone, and I walked into her room on Snapchat and was like, wake up! And it was like 7 a.m. And she just pulls the covers and just puts them back over her face.
She looks just like fucking like you, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a picture
And
you sent me the other day.
And I
of her
crashed out.
21st. I was
I don't know if that was a valid crash out last night. Me just,
yeah.
I was drunk. I don't give a fuck. I was drunk. It was July 4th. And my sister's dating some fucking dude that has a baby on the way. I have to say
with another woman.
I have to say something to their face as the older brother, right? You have to say
I
something.
would agree with that.
I don't give a fuck if it's rude to say that. I don't give a fuck. It's my little sister. I'm going to say something. I'm going to say, hey, Fallon, this dude is financially ruined. He's a piece of shit, obviously, because he has a baby on the way. I say it. I should just say it to their face. I don't give a fuck if they get pissed or not, dude. That's my little sister. I'm just trying to take care of her.
Valid point. Valid point. You're
Nobody said-
entwining yourself in a basket of bullshit. Stop.
That's basically what I said. Nobody really said nothing to me after, because I think they were like, well, that is her older brother, and he just he called the spade, and can't really disagree with him.
Valid point.
Yeah.
You can't. You don't mix yourself up in something like that. You just don't. You don't do that.
And I'm like, Fallon, I've been there before. because I had to go through that whole court shit. We'll have to save that story for the Patreon. The whole court shit that I had to go through. It's a love triangle. It is. Look, women will get you caught up in bullshit if you're not smart. You got to know when to pull the fucking ripcord and get out of there, because they're always trying to. This thing. I don't know what it is, but if there's a love triangle, get out. Pull the ripcord. Find something else. Because it leads. People do crazy shit. They don't think right. Whenever there's like a love triangle type deal. And that's what I was trying to explain to her. I was like, that girl knows where you work because y'all all fucking work together. But she don't work there. The baby mama don't. I'm like, but she knows where you work. This has caused a whole bunch of bullshit.
You're creating drama for yourself.
Because people don't think right whenever they're emotional and in their feelings and shit like that. It could cost you a ton of money. It could get you put in jail.
That is why most of our generation is suffering, is because they are too deep in their emotions.
Yes.
They're too deep in them. You need to crawl out of there a little bit and put some rational thinking behind it.
And I feel like a pussy for what I did this morning at work. I feel like a pussy, but I'm like, for like bitching and complaining and being like, yo. But I'm like, I had to fucking say something eventually, or I was just going to keep getting fucking bucked.
Hammered.
And I'm like, dude. Because today was just the most ridiculous. So, the reason, like, I know Drake released a song, I was hungover, right? I walk in, that box truck's fucking sitting there, not loaded, because they loaded it all in cages, because the truck wasn't parked in the spot. So I was going to have to load my entire fucking truck, then go out and run that piece of shit where you have to open the fucking back door. And I was like, I literally just got there. I just looked at what happened and I just went and sat in the seat and just sat there just like, I'm about to just fucking go. My dad was like, hey man, I was like, I'm about to fucking go home. Like right now. He was like, what? I was like, I'm fucking, what the fuck is this? He was like, and then it all unfolded after that, where I was like,
you're killing me.
Exactly. That's basically what I was fucking doing. I was like, dude.
You're killing me.
And I was like, halfway told my boss, Robbie, I was like, yeah, motherfucker, if I quit this place, you'll know it, because I'll be going out of here in handcuffs and you'll be going out of here in a fucking stretcher, dude. I was like, dude, if I ever have to crash out that hard, I might as well just fuck it. We might as well just fully fucking send this shit.
You're going to create a lot of drama for yourself.
I wouldn't give a fuck.
It's going to be a shitty couple of episodes.
I wouldn't give a fuck. Oh, hey. If we make like $30,000 a month, I might fully crash out.
We got to get there first.
Hey, donate to the Patreon we might create soon.
The Patreon we haven't created yet.
Yeah, donate to the Patreon we haven't created yet, dude. I'll crash out on my boss.
That's clickbaity as hell.
But true. Fact check true.
At Grog, is this true? You'll get there. It'll all smooth itself out.
I know, man. I just need that vacation to come up, dude. It's like I'm still a month away. A month and a half. Oof. End of August.
Oh, no. You got more than that then. Because July just started.
Oof. I'll make it. Maybe. I might make it. I
got
might
a
not.
month and 3 weeks.
I don't know. I'm
7 weeks left.
I'm in limbo right now. I want to fucking quit so goddamn bad, dude. I'm using, because I've already plotted and schemed. How far are we in? See, nobody's going to listen to this. Thank God. Well, neither one of them will, because I've already plotted and schemed what I'm going to do. I worked my ass off. I told them, I said, because they always text me, Robbie does, if somebody's fucking up or somebody's behind. I said, I'm not doing. And literally that song, Iceman, perfect. Or whatever the fuck he just dropped, that was perfect for
what did I miss?
Yeah, what did I miss? Is like what he was saying in that shit. I was like, this is perfect. Don't call me for no fucking favors no more. Because he's talking about the whole, whenever he got sabotaged by like 20 dudes. Mm-hmm. He's sitting there talking about, like, don't call me for no favors no more. I ain't picking up the fucking phone. I'm doing my own shit. I'm coming here doing my job. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm going to do my shit, and I'm going to go the fuck home. Don't fucking talk to me. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to train that dude Monday. And I already know what's going to happen. Dude's going to quit in like fucking 4 days. And I'm going to say, oh, what happened? Oh,
what happened?
Just give me a raise. I'll do it for $300 a fucking day. I'm just going to start just being just straight up ice running through my veins, dude, at that place. It turns you into a fucking demon, I swear it does. The Federal Express does. Turns you cold. And I might as well just start just being a cold motherfucker over there, because I honestly, after what I witnessed today, I might as well just go full Iceman on their ass, dude. Just straight up ice running through my veins.
It's unfortunate that you have to put yourself in that situation.
But it's sick, though, because he's dropping an album at the same time. To where it's like, yo, I relate to this. Because I cannot wait.
I'll give kudos to you. You seem to connect with a musical artist a little more than I do.
Because I'm patient. I'm patient as hell, Jesse. But I know it's going to come where they have to call the boy to go do something. And that phone's just, I'm going to look down, and that phone's just going to ring, 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 and just go straight to voice, because I ain't helping no more. You got to teach these motherfuckers a lesson
it's a
sometimes.
shitty situation.
I know. I wish it would be different, but I'll change back eventually to be like, oh, it's gonna take them. I need that bacon, please. You know, because I'm gonna get it eventually. It's just I have to be patient about it. Because Robbie kind of freaked out whenever I was telling them, I was like, because I asked him about the raise, right? I was like, yeah, I need a raise since I'm working. I was supposed to be running the route Monday through Friday. He was like, oh, that's out of the picture. And I said, well, I need a raise then. And he said, me and your dad are going to talk about it. And I said, talk about like what the fuck is there to talk about? How about this? How about don't call me for to do none of these fucking favors for nobody else no more. How about that? And he was like, oh shit. And my dad immediately went, what do you want to get paid?
So now we're talking.
Yeah.
So I need that $30 an hour.
Dude, if I just can pay me like $250 a day, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
$12.50 a week, Monday through Friday, and then
Yeah,
if I work 6 days, it'd be $1,500.
That'd be a good gig.
For now,
especially in your current circumstances.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep leveraging hard as possible. It's part of my job is to just keep leveraging against the company. Dude, I'm starting to figure out the system real good because I've been there for like 5 years. If you just work your ass off and stay silent for a long time and just keep taking the crash out, get a raise. Because they don't want to lose you. Because they can't keep no fucking body there. And then, man, I cannot wait because allegedly I'm training somebody on Monday. That's even if I show up. I don't know. He was like, oh, yeah, I got a new guy coming in Monday. You can train him. He's been here for 6 months. And I was like, oh, yeah, that dude's probably a fucking pussy just like the rest of it. I was talking wild this morning, but I was like, yeah, that dude's probably just a fucking pussy like the rest of them. But we'll see, dude. I was kind of just, I don't know what it was, man. Over the past 24 hours, I was just calling shit for what the fuck it was, dude. I don't know what the fuck got into me.
You reached your tipping point. And it's bound to happen at any point in any profession, in any career.
That, and also I crashed out on not really crashed out on my sister, but I just called that shit for just what it was to her over there at Courtney's last night. I was for 24 hours. I've just been, you know what? I'm just gonna start just talking. It is. You're about to just get my.
It is what it is.
You're about to just get my straight up opinion, dude. If you don't like it, suck my ass, dude. But at the end of the day, I'm right.
There it is. The episode name. It is what it is.
Yeah. Or A man can only be stoic for so long, dude.
Stoicism is temporary.
Pride is forever. What is that quote from? Something is temporary. Or I think it's Nikolai on fucking Black Ops
fucking
1.
Lost. Black Ops 1 zombies.
Be careful, I'm flammable.
Stay away from my vodka.
Beast mode, dude. I gotta pee.
You gotta pee?
Yes. Man.
TV's off there.
Dude,
TV's off and everything.
we just need to start a damn Greg Floyd Fent. Dude, I cannot believe on that YouTube video that dude had a Minecraft item called Fent. His fucking inventory.
Back again. Don't even know what we're talking about.
Oh, just everything.
Hagen leaving FedEx.
And George Droid.
George Droid. That's fucking retarded. I swear, how did they get past? How do you make something like that? I guess your theory about YouTube becoming a little bit more laxed is probably true.
Yes.
Because something like that wouldn't have gotten past a couple of years
ago. And it only
ago.
started once we started dropping the cast on YouTube, dude. They just went, dude, look at this younger. It reminds me of Steve Bannon.
Look at these two Igmos.
Steve Bannon, you know Steve Bannon, the old dude,
yeah.
But he's like the right wing dude. He was like, dude, he was talking about that Israel-Iran thing, and he was like, I'm just letting you guys know the under 35 generation hate this. None of them fucking like none of this shit. I'm just letting you know. Under 35, they're like, dude, you politician.
This is over.
He's a geezer. He's a geezer, and I think he's looking at like Twitter a lot because he's starting to see like the people that are our age talk about shit and like straight up talk about like the military industrial complex and like how everything actually works. And he's sitting there going, these motherfuckers know. Like he was like, dude, they're under 35. They're straight up calling it the fuck out for what it is.
Finally.
And he's like a boomer age, so he's sitting there just going like, yeah.
I hope that somebody starts to realize.
Yeah, one of the old geezer boomers is Steve Bannon's like, dude, they're straight up.
They do not give a fuck.
They're straight up calling it the fuck out, dude. It's like, yo.
I hope that somebody is seeing that. I really do.
And Tucker was ahead of the curve on it. I think that's why either he got fired or left Fox because he was like, I think he had his finger on the pulse of like.
He's always explained it as being like a mutual separation.
He was sitting there, but I think he was a bigger thing where he was like, I know what's about to go down. Like motherfuckers are tired of this mainstream media fake shit. Motherfuckers are calling shit for what it is now.
Yeah,
like everybody is. Like everybody knows that this shit's fake. You think COVID might have broke him off from the mainstream media thing?
I think that COVID broke a lot of people off.
And Joe left fucking California.
It
changed everything.
Got the fuck out of there.
People were sitting here.
Everybody got a hit.
After COVID, Tucker was like, yo. I love that one on Jones because how did Jones call 9/11 like 3 weeks before it happened?
It was longer than that. It was months.
He has that one clip where he was like, they're going to do, he literally called it Osama bin Laden. He says his name like on public access television, like public.
Yeah, it was months before it ever happened.
He was like, oh, it's like public access Austin television. He's like, dude, Osama bin Laden, they're going to bomb the towers and all that shit. And then lo and behold, it happens. Ow, the fuck. That motherfucker has had his finger on the pulse
I don't know.
And he says he connects it to the whole spiritual intuition thing. And it makes sense.
That and tracking money.
Have you noticed this? If you're really good at something and it's like all you do, you start kind of getting like your intuition in the future is kind of easy to.
If you work that muscle enough, there's no doubt in my mind you can get good at it.
Because it worked out for me at FedEx, and I showed my dad like straight up. I was because working there, I'm working there all the time, 24 hours. I'm connected to all that shit. Danny, I didn't even know Danny was going to put in his 2 weeks. I had already got 3 people, 3 of my buddies. I was like, hey, I asked all 3 of them. I was like, hey, and I showed Robbie too. I was like, because I texted him. I was like, I got 3 dudes, maybe they might come work for us. And this is the day before dude puts in his 2 weeks. I had 3 dudes on deck. Danny comes in, puts in his 2 weeks the next day. I had no clue. And I told my dad, I said, I told you I see the future. And he was like, he just looked at me. He was like, man, you're fucked up.
Had 3 guys on deck. Somebody puts in her 2 weeks. Hey, here you go.
The next day, I had a feeling he was going to quit. I had no clue he was going to quit, like put in his 2 weeks or nothing, but like that feeling in your brain where it's like he's quitting.
Something's fixing to happen.
He's fixing to either quit or put in his 2 weeks, something like that. And I was like, I knew something's about to happen.
Yeah. Well, being able to read into a situation is not a bad thing.
And I was just comparing that to how Jones, that's all he does is study the
current happenings.
Like what's going on over all day.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing that shit all day and you can connect probably all that shit together in your brain, your brain's going to
get good at it.
Your brain, because
recognize patterns.
Is intuition your subconscious just putting the big picture together? Could that be what intuition is?
I would tend to lean in that direction. Yeah. It's not part of our conscious mind. It's part of our unconscious mind, the things that can kind of show you and give you certain feelings.
Your like subconscious is sending you like, okay, we put this together. This is probably what's going to happen.
Yeah. Read the results of the events that have led up to this point.
And that's like whenever you like see like some other shit, like for example, like my sister fucking that dude that like has a baby on the way. That's like not even intuition, but I'm like, Fallon, this isn't really intuition. It's kind of common sense. Like, this is not going to end.
I think that's more along the lines of wisdom than it is intuition.
It was you basically just saying this is not going to end well.
You've been in a situation similar or similar adjacent, and you know how that works. You know how the people in those situations work. Look, don't be doing that. That's just
it's never going to end
things
well.
That you've learned.
And then intuition. So Jones must just be studying that shit so hard. It's on his mind 24/7, and his subconscious was probably putting together.
Yeah.
Like all the pieces. Oh, this is probably
really all it is formulating a well-researched theory, and then you get to see the result. Did the theory come true or not?
I'm wondering what their psyops are now, because have you noticed they're so easy to just point out and literally put your finger on it immediately? They used to be hard to see. Nowadays, it's like, do you think that's planned that they're doing that?
They're trying to blend.
Or
they're trying to blend. Keep the same stuff that we've had because now everybody's found that. They know what that is. Let's keep that out there. That way they think, oh, yeah, we know what that is.
For like the boomers, though. But like the boomers
you don't have to do much for
fall
that.
for the news.
You just have
but
to
for
put
like
the
us,
news on the TV.
Like people our age, as Steve Bennett says, under 35, you got to be doing some kind of something.
They're going to try to blend in. Leave the same stuff they've been seeing because now they found it. But
do you
now
ever
we
get
have
sketched by Sean Ryan and like the people he has on the show, like the military podcast dudes?
Yeah.
I'm like
Garen Thumb on YouTube.
I'm like, this is not.
I'm like, how are you allowed to do this?
It's not even that. It's like, this is propaganda.
It's too well done.
There's something in my brain that's sitting there going, this. It relates to like the truth vibration. Like, whenever something is like real.
Yeah. Most of the stuff that I've ever seen, like Sean Ryan, for example, say, it seems too scripted.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Especially whenever that Trump Tesla bombing hotel, that was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I was like, he's connected to that shit. Ben Shapiro's another one. Where it's like, I liked him whenever I was younger, just because, I guess, because he talked fast and all that. And now I look at him now and I'm like, oh, that's
all propaganda. Try to make them look like heroes. Try to make them look like they're the leaders of the sides of this argument. But in reality, they're in our pocketbook.
And I'm wondering if I think
that's why they're all famous.
Joe,
I question Alex Jones because he's so famous. It's like,
yeah,
you know,
but he wasn't. They took him off everything. That's why it's easy to kind of be like,
Also makes it really easy to make everybody support him if you take him off everything and then allow him to come back.
yeah. David Icke.
Let's make a martyr out of him temporarily. Everybody's going to be so outraged that we took the one guy that was telling the truth, and he
now
was
this
telling
would probably get us
mistruths.
banned. Did Sandy Hook actually happen? Let's not even get into that because he got sued for a fucking $1 billion. Dude.
We'll put a pin in that.
I have no clue, dude. I don't even know what
We'll
that
put
is.
a pin in that. I refuse to discuss.
That was another YouTube video in like 2011, dude. Like the Sandy Hook thing for Jones before he got banned off everything. I seen that shit and I went with like the fake.
These are all staged crisis actors. You can look. None of these emergency personnel are doing their jobs. They're all just standing
That's
around
like
their
what-
vehicles. There are no parents to be found on the school grounds at all. Wouldn't you think that if there's a shooting at the school, the parents would be there trying to get in there to get to their children? Don't you think that this is the truth? Look at this.
We're banned.
And then, yeah.
And then get
There
sued
goes
for
the
$1
end of the
billion.
podcast.
That's what fucking January 6th was.
That was a full-own
Propaganda,
false
literal.
flag,
Yes.
whatever you want to call
They
it.
fucking got all those people to go up there just to arrest them.
Funded and dunded. It was just over. The amount of people that were a part of that were FBI agents is just retarded.
That one dude never got arrested too. It
Yeah.
was so obvious. What was his name? The gray-headed dude. He was like, "Let's go in there. We got to go in there." And like 2 or 3 dudes were like, "This dude's a Fed," and he was like, "No, I'm not. Let's go. We got to get in there."
Incite the chaos and then reap the benefits.
The crisis actor shit's real too. And then you got shit like leaving pallets out close to like leaving pallets of bricks out close to like where people are gonna be. Right. Dude,
It's
fuck.
right in front of you.
Why does nobody see it?
I don't know.
Or nobody talks about
Nobody
it. I
talks
don't
about it.
know,
Nobody
dude.
says it. Well, and that's a point that I wanted to make a little bit ago. It's crazy. It's kind of a phenomenon. If something fucking huge can go on this world, everybody goes, "Wow!" And then a week later, nobody goes, "Oh, fuck." It's done. Okay? So you take say a conspiracy or something that has went on, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not conspiracy.
I can
It's
relate it to Drizzy Drake. He says 3 days. Wait 3 if some fucking crazy shit like he's talking about like being famous and like
Yeah.
some crazy shit happens. 3 days. He said it's gone in 3 days.
Well, I'm saying like more along the line, like, if there was a conspiracy or a scandal, that's the word I was looking for, a scandal.
Who was a dude that hit Nancy Pelosi's husband in the head? I don't know. Remember that was a big one
that
for
was a
like
big
3
one.
days.
That was a big one.
It was gone.
But it's like some truth comes out. Some truth comes
And
out.
then they-
Something gets exposed.
And then they level it down.
Something gets exposed.
Diddy
And
got
we're all-
not guilty.
We're all like, we expected you, or we expected this. We knew this was going on. We know what
Yes.
was going on. We expected this. That's the reason we let it go so fast. We just needed you to admit that it fucking happened.
Like how Diddy was innocent.
We just needed you
Right
to
now.
admit it. We needed you to make it public. Now we're going to move on and keep chasing you because you're still doing shit you shouldn't be doing.
The only one that nobody's given up on is the Epstein one, dude. Everybody's
That
like,
one's not going away anytime soon.
dude, everybody is still like, you're full of shit, dude. There's
That
no
is
way.
not going away.
That was a huge one because everybody knows it involved fucking Mossad, Israel intelligence, Ghislaine, and all that shit. That's one that will never.
That's not going away.
That might be the biggest scandal of our like lives was Jeffrey
Yep.
Epstein. Like us growing up, that was our biggest.
And then now look
Scandal.
at it. It's nothing but just background noise.
No, people. Cash Patel got asked about it, and he.
Well, yeah,
bullshitted.
they're all yelling about it. They're all yelling about it. But as far as like in
They're never
your
gonna say
individual
it.
life, big whoop had happened. We knew it was going to happen.
Dude. Do you remember the day that they were like,
I know.
Jeffrey Epstein killed himself? Everybody was like, bullshit.
Bullshit.
Everybody was
we
like, bullshit.
know, but we've all
Bullshit.
seen the Jason Bourne movies.
That
we
was the
know.
one. That was the one. The whole world was wide awake, left, right, center, all. Everybody was like, bullshit,
Bullshit.
dude. Yeah, that's bullshit. Y'all killed that motherfucker. I know it. Everybody.
and
says
then the
yeah,
autopsy
bullshit.
comes out, makes headlines for one day.
and then his brother got a second one now.
Did they ever actually allow him to do that? Because he came on Joe Rogan talking about it like he wanted the second one, but they wouldn't let him
His
get it.
brother went on PBD and talked about it. His brother thinks that Trump got him killed
Ooh, juicy.
on PBD. His brother, and PBD sitting there like, oh, because PBD loves Trump. He's like, and Epstein's brother is like, who was the most powerful man in the world at that time? And PBD's like, oh shit.
Not Trump.
It was a lot.
The president has not been the most powerful man in the world in years.
All I can say is, I think a ton of people wanted him dead. And billionaires, Bill Gates.
There's most definitely a massive list of people that wanted him dead.
Yes. And they were like, they were probably like over there at the sacrificing their thing at the Bohemian Grove, and they're like, we got to get rid of Jeffrey.
We got to do something about this because we're all fixing to.
Because Jeffrey, if Jeffrey was a troll, which is probably why he died, if he was a troll, he could be like, I'm about to just fucking let it rip, dude. Fuck y'all. I'm going down forever. I'm about to just let it rip. And they're like, we got to get rid of this guy.
Do something quick.
He's like, yeah, I know I'm intelligence. I know I'm fucking Mossad intelligence, Israel intelligence. But guess what? I'm about to just let it fucking rip on y'all motherfuckers, dude. I'm just going to say everything. And they're like, God.
We would rather continue kissing Israel on the lips.
The cameras went off. The guards fell asleep. What the fuck, dude? That's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard of.
But it's the truth, Hagen. It's the truth.
Cash Patel, dude. I'm just telling you.
Truth. Believe everything the TV tells you.
That's even a podcast.
Be informed.
Hey, man, I'm just letting you know. That's all if I know it, all I know is I'm just letting you guys know. Okay, Cash.
Swim in the propaganda. Believe.
I'd throw a damn beer bottle at Cash across the table if he ever said that shit to me. I said, you're bullshit.
At this point, I would just about enjoy throwing a beer bottle at Trump.
Dude, get Jones to interview Cash Patel.
That's how you start some shit.
Dude, they won't. And Rogan won't ever have Icon or Jones back on.
Not happening. Jones is not coming back.
I
doubt Elon ever comes back. I doubt Trump ever comes back.
I bet you Elon does come back.
Yeah, you think so? He's going to do something big. We'll see.
Yeah, he's going to go on Joe Rogan and announce he's starting a damn political party. He's got a ton of money, dude. He can do it.
It's retarded how rich that guy is.
I wouldn't even know what the fuck was going on if I had that much money.
No, you wouldn't because you're running
crazy.
3 different companies.
It would make me...
X, Tesla, SpaceX. Oh, he's got the Boring Company, too. So there's 4. That's right off the rip. That's only the ones that I know about.
Dude.
Because I'm a plebeian. I don't understand.
And he done that Doge shit, too.
Yeah. Of course,
he hired a bunch
sour.
He hired a bunch of people our age to do all the Doge shit.
Yeah, you should.
To look into
35 and under, baby. Yeah. 35 and under.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Bannon's onto something with the 35 and under because we're all sitting here
that's a good point to me.
Calling that shit out.
35 and under. That seems to be the only people that are here going, what is this bullshit?
I think that's why Elon probably acts the way he does too. He's like, people need to fucking talk. All the 35 and under people are like, yeah, what's the fucking big deal?
Yeah, he says some wild shit. Like you wouldn't expect to come from a public figure.
It's like, dude,
like him.
I wish one of them would say, have you never been in a Call of Duty lobby before, dude?
They wouldn't be able to handle it.
The next politician that's around our age that's going to be president was like, dude, I've said shit before on Call of Duty lobbies you wouldn't even imagine, dude. Freedom of speech is the best.
2036. I'm on the way, baby.
That's a perfect quote right there to say, I was in Modern Warfare lobbies, dude.
I know how to handle myself.
First Amendment rights.
I played split screen.
Dude, I wish that they would make an amendment to the First Amendment, include social media.
No.
Yeah, include social media into the First Amendment.
Social media is unnatural.
But that's what I'm saying. You should be able to say whatever you want to on social media is what I'm saying. Like, add it to the First Amendment to where these companies can't be like, oh, we own this company, we're going to ban you. They can't ban you because of whatever you say. If you add it to the First Amendment, they can't ban you because of what you're saying.
Well, I think a lot of it would boil down to the fact that people are looking at their private companies as a private entity. Therefore, it's their rules, their house, their rules. If they were to just go ahead and acknowledge the basic right of freedom of speech, it wouldn't be a problem.
Exactly.
But everybody wants to control.
It's loosening up big because you got to give
They
credit
have
where
to.
credit is due because Elon's just letting Twitter rip. These motherfuckers on Twitter are saying, I showed you that one.
Let alone saying the things you can see.
Where is my bra cup? Me at the bank securing a 0% interest loan.
It's let alone what you can say. It's the things you can see.
And shout out to Kanye West, dude. He is pushing the boundaries. He's saying,
Not seen a thing from him in weeks.
dude, but you know what he's been
But
doing.
I know what he's been doing. Yeah.
You got to get, honestly, you got to give him credit for
I guess.
pushing them envelope.
He's fucking crazy.
Like,
but
look, I don't
guess.
agree with what he does, but he should be able, that's the perfect point. I don't agree with what he does, but he should be able to do it. That's what,
Makes
that's the First
sense
Amendment.
to me. That's literally what it was written for.
And it's honestly hilarious. Him and that fucking Ku Klux Klan.
I don't agree with it,
Dude,
but let him do it.
Ku Klux Klan, full robe with a flooded out diamond Nazi jacket.
that he had a Jew jeweler make.
And he's just sitting there like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And that should be allowed, dude.
Hey,
You cannot tell somebody, you can't ban somebody for doing that. That's
you can't. Hey,
that's against natural law.
That has been my entire argument to the LG barbecue. Is look, I don't care how you live your life, just don't shove it down my throat.
Exactly.
I don't care what you do. I'm happy for you because I get to do what I want to do too.
Exactly.
Just don't shove it down my throat because I'm not shoving what I'm doing down yours.
Exactly.
And that is the part that nobody seems to understand anymore.
Why does everybody want to ban Kanye for, dude?
Because everybody wants to make a difference. Everybody wants to make a statement. Everybody wants to be one in the limelight.
He's
everybody
honestly-
wants to have their time in the limelight.
Honestly,
So if you can cause outrage, you can give people.
they call him crazy, but he could just be making one of the deepest points of all time by doing all this. And being like, look, let's see who bans me.
How far can you push it?
Yeah. That's a good thing to do, though.
He's doing some crazy ass fucking shit that would have gotten him banned 5 years ago. Hard fucking.
He
core.
is banned on like Instagram and all that shit. The only thing he's not banned on is Twitter.
That makes a statement.
Yeah.
That makes a statement.
And YouTube allowed academics interview with him whenever
Yeah.
DJ Academics done an interview with him and he was wearing the full Ku Klux Klan thing and he was interviewing him. YouTube allowed that one. And I was like, And then I get on YouTube again the other day and I see the George Droid video on Minecraft and I go, holy shit, we're good. We're good. We're not going to get in trouble.
We can finally speak about the obscenities.
Dude, if we would have started this cast like back during COVID or something, we would be banned so
It'd be
fast.
over. It'd be over. We wouldn't even be able to create a YouTube account anymore.
We would have been banned so quick, dude. Because I would have immediately been like, dude, COVID-19 is not real, dude. Like 2020.
Oh,
And they would have been like, yep, just
go ahead and take them off.
just obliterate that channel, dude. It's over.
Gone. Lock their IP addresses. They're not even allowed to watch YouTube anymore.
Rest in peace, Susan, dude. Too bad you got the vaccine, bitch.
Shouldn't have done that. We could have told you better. They'll figure it out. Like we've said on multiple episodes, I'm smart enough to know that I know nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful that I'm smart enough to... There's some bullshit afoot.
Everywhere, dude. All the time.
Everywhere.
And the
Doesn't
world
stop.
just keeps just trying to poke you.
Turn it off. Mute it. Ignore this. Ignore that. Focus on this. Ignore that. Focus on this. Smoke screen. Look at that. Mirror. Oh, it was all your fault. Oh, actually, it was our fault. Yeah, we should have told you that. Oh, wait, we're going to do it again.
The most hilarious thing of all time was Trump calling it like the 13-day war. And he's like, yeah, you can't have a war more than 30. If you name it, you can't do more than that, dude. That's honestly a high level move.
Yeah, you can't do that.
13-day war. All right,
all
it's
you
got a name, and that's it. It's over. Meanwhile, Israel's like, oh, 6 hours left till the ceasefire. Let's just launch everything.
Everything in our entire arsenal is being unleashed.
Then,
Have fun.
Meanwhile, you just got some old redneck ass dude, president, just pulling up, just going, dude, these motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
You got it. And then he just walks to the fucking thing. That's like Andrew Jackson. Won like 3 duels while he was president. Beast. Hey, that's like 2 people ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where he was like, some dude just comes up and he's like, man, fuck you, dude. I'll kill your ass. He's like, oh, yeah, dude, all right. I'm president of the United States. Just, you missed, bitch.
It's over.
Yeah, he died with like 7 fucking ball bearings in his body. That's honestly beast mode, dude, of a life. Told the Indians to kick rocks. The Trail of Tears. He was the Trail of Tears dude.
Yeah.
And
I seen that when we was in New Johnsonville. It said it was the road, and it was like Trail of Tears official pathway, and I was like, could you imagine being part of that process? Like,
honestly, it was successful. Like, that's what he wanted to do, and it was a successful thing. Was like, the Indians, y'all want them out? Okay. We're going to get them the fuck out of here.
it worked.
Go Vols.
I'll give it
dude.
that.
He's a Tennessee man, dude. Go Vols.
I seen a sign that said Trail of Tears official pathway.
And then, dude, he fucking is president for 8 years. As soon as he's done being president, he just goes straight back to the Appalachian Mountains in Tennessee and just lives in a damn cabin in the woods.
What? How else do you want it?
Beast. That's the ultimate beast move, dude. He's like, yeah, I did it. Going back to the woods in Tennessee.
Going back to home. Middle of the woods.
Oh, he was the one that vetoed the fucking Federal Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame him for that. I'd do the same fucking thing, wouldn't you? Dude?
Get rid of that. Don't need that.
Dude, we need fuck the banks, dude. They try to fuck me.
And then lo and behold, they
veto.
took the fuck over.
Yeah. That started the bank. The Federal Reserve, did it not start in Georgia down there on the fucking...
I think so.
They founded it on... ain't it called like Skull Island? Jekyll Island?
Jekyll Island?
Something down there in Georgia. And Spud went there and visited, like, just to see like where the Federal Reserve was founded. And it was in like a Freemason fucking temple where they founded the Federal Reserve in Jekyll Island. He said, you got to like go through security to get to the island. And it's like a little town on the island. And he said, everybody stares at you like, what the fuck? Whenever you go down there.
Yeah.
And then you leave. And it's like there's cop security over there. Because people are looking at you like, what? Who is this dude? Why is he here?
Interesting. I'm going to have to go down there.
I know. We need to. It's right there, Jekyll Island. I don't know if it's Jekyll Island or something else, but that's odd.
It may not be Jekyll. Seems like I can remember like cousins of mine going on like camps and stuff to Jekyll Island.
And it's no wonder he got shot so many times. He fucking told the banks fuck off. He was just invincible.
Just kept hiring duelists to come fight him.
He was just invincible. He was just like, dude, I don't give a fuck.
We'll get there.
Why are we friends with England?
We are.
Like, they're one of our allies in the
Well, I
European
mean, I know they're an
Union.
ally, but I didn't know if we were like. I mean, I assume
Why would we be
if there
friends
was
with them?
going to be two nations on the planet that got along the most, it would just about
Whenever
have
I
to
was
be
younger-
us and England.
Whenever I was younger, I ignorantly was like, oh, yeah, us in England, we should be friends. And then you, like, look into the history and you're like, why are we friends
Why are
with
we
them?
friends with them?
Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of like fuck you, and it's like, okay, now we're equals. I can help you. You can help me.
Why don't we just be friends with Russia and China?
You know, like we should be.
Yeah.
With everybody.
Why would we have a war with China when we trade with them, like, all the time?
When 90-something% of our manufacturing is done in China? I don't know. Why would we want to go to war with them?
I think that might
So
be...
is we can collapse our own economy and they can have an excuse to create a one world government? Sure. There it is.
Dude, that one world government shit, was there's another conspiracy about like remember Trump wanted to buy like Canada and wanted to buy Greenland, and I was like,
You're starting
But
to
if-
get a little too big there.
if everybody has our laws though, it'd be nice.
Well, if everybody had the same moral foreground
Yeah,
that we do, it would be.
that's
okay.
one of the problems with the immigrants. They come here and don't want to. What's it called? Like assimilate. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to come here and like keep doing whatever they were doing there.
I walked 1,000 miles and swam 5 rivers to come over here and tell you that Mexico's better.
Yeah, but there's a
Then
lot of Mexicans.
why are you here?
There's a lot of Mexicans though that just are lads that are just working construction.
There's no doubt in my mind that there's
Beasting.
people from every nation and from
I'm
every
talking about
religion
mostly-
and from every background on this planet that can come here and live a normal life. But it's the other ones that are really fucking loud that I'm tired of hearing about.
What's that town in Michigan that's like a full Muslim town?
Oh, I have no.
You heard about that
Not
one?
even heard about that.
They got like Sharia law and shit in Michigan. Like
okay.
that one town. I'm like, whoa.
There you go.
They're not assimilating.
America is a melting pot of different religions and different backgrounds. It's okay. That's literally what we founded it to be. But do not come over here and say that your country was better. And when you're here illegally, first
That-
off,
And why are all of our ads like trying to make everybody gay, mixed race,
homosexuals.
all this bullshit, dude? Just be chill. And it's slowly. I'm honestly, I'm starting to notice it is kind of chilling out, but there's still that little. People
It's
try it
still
every now
there.
and then, and everybody looks and just goes,
It's still there. It's corporate nonsense. It's all propaganda. It's all just bullshit. It's just noise. Literally, it's just
Did you
noise.
see the 250th anniversary of America? Right, is it next year? They're doing a UFC octagon fight on the White House lawn.
See, that just sounds like something out of the fucking Hunger Games to me. Like, that is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, but I heard people talk about the Hunger Games and like we are basically America is District 1 of the Hunger Games. If you want to take the whole world into it, Spud was talking about that on War Mode. He was like, dude, because he went to the pyramids and he's like, these motherfuckers are like, they're begging you. If you give them like $2, they're like shit like that. And he's like, we're basically, and he went and explored all of Europe, and he's like, dude, everybody over there is just like relaxing all the time, never fucking working. It's like, he said they played the game of life like they've already beat the game. Like they're just not working and just chilling, drinking with their buddies like all day. Like they don't. And he was like, in America, it's like, and that's probably why our fucking GDP is retardedly high, is because everybody's just constantly just
Yeah, I mean,
working,
our
working.
lifestyle is work.
And he was talking about if you're not the type of person to want to work or like want to like make something of yourself, you don't want to. You could probably move to Europe and you'd have a better time
Damn.
because of like the whole like they're real socialist. And
I
like
mean,
that, and
there's
they'll
no
take care of
doubt in
you
my
and all that
mind that if
shit.
I was like moved to Switzerland, I would be so much fucking happier.
Yeah.
Just go out there in the middle of the fucking and just chill. Start a little farm, start a little ranch, sell the fucking goat milk and beef to the local village and be fine.
Dude,
You know?
if you become self-sufficient,
This big corporate nonsense just gets in the way.
it does. And becoming self-sufficient, dude, the government. Why does the government in America hate that?
Because our entire economy is founded upon us working for someone else and creating money as the entire economy
Who
all
was
works together.
they called them a cult, and all they were doing was they didn't just sell guns, but they sold everything. But they got them on selling guns, and they went and burned down the
Seems like I
ATF.
vaguely remember hearing something about that.
the ATF and all that shit went.
Reading something about it.
Yeah, the ATF went and fucking killed everybody, burned down their fucking houses, all that shit, like on their fucking compound.
And they were fully self-sufficient, doing their own thing.
Yeah, and all they did was like they sold everything because like that's how they were making money. But then they were trying to get on their ass about selling guns, but
Yeah.
it's legal to sell guns in America.
Uh,
And then
if you have the right licensures.
then they just went and just straight up killed everybody there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at it from their rules standpoint, you were selling guns without our permission.
Mm-hmm.
You were selling guns without our permission.
And you're not supposed to be
Therefore-
self-sufficient either.
Therefore, you're a threat. And we don't like people that are self-sufficient because we need taxpayers and we're going to take care of you.
Dude, property taxes is theft.
Every tax is theft.
Yes. That's fucking fucked
Big Sam
up.
didn't come work half my shift.
I know.
You know? Hey, it's all theft. It's all theft. And this is literally the holiday we just celebrated was the day we stopped paying taxes.
Dude, imagine how George Washington would react if you said, hey, after I get my paycheck on Friday, a whole day that I worked goes to the fucking
More than that.
government. Yeah, like more than a day of my work goes
A
to the
day
fucking
plus of everything you did.
government. He would be like, y'all not stacking bodies yet?
No. Because I like my Wi-Fi.
That's scanning your entire house, dude. True.
Yeah. It really
Dude,
is.
that shit says it on the app like it ain't even a damn conspiracy no more. It
No,
says,
it's-
oh, yeah, we
it's
are scanning
right
your
there.
house. Yeah.
This product is capable of 3D scanning the environment that it is in, and it maps
Did
that
you see the
information.
meme?
Yes.
The other day where it said, hey, your Wi-Fi router can detect movement in your house. Well, you can upgrade to get movement detected in your house. Like whenever something moves, and it's like, and it was
Do
just a
you
dude-
ever
It
notice-
was just a dude with a cigarette in his mouth, with one of these looking at his phone, and that was like the meme, and it was just.
Do you ever notice you can wake up, and the moment your feet touch the floor, your phone goes off? Just random notifications. You ever notice that?
They know. Here's what freaks me out. I always knew that they listened to like what I hear on my phone, and then you get like the ads and like the targeted videos and all that stuff, right? Have you ever had the experience of you've never said a word about it, but you're thinking about it in your head? You're thinking about it, and you get a targeted video for the thing that you're thinking about in your brain. It's happened to me probably 50 times now.
I've only had it happen a handful of times.
Yeah, it's happened probably 50 times to me, and I'm like, what?
Something up with that.
I was like, dude, what? And then Courtney was telling me yesterday, this girl she works with, this happened probably about a year ago. She was just working regular, right? All of a sudden, she starts getting targeted ads for diapers.
I remember you telling me this.
Yeah, she started getting targeted ads for like diapers, like a car seat, all this shit. Next thing you know, pregnant. Like she was already pregnant whenever she started getting those ads, and like didn't even know, and was already getting those ads. Dude, is this thing how? Here's what I don't understand: is this thing already in our brains?
No, I think they just have such a well-developed system that was able to tell where her phone was, or like in any situation, where your phone's at, who is near your phone, where and how long were you.
But that's
this
like the Jones
location.
intuition thing, though. That's like they're
It's all
watching
an
you.
algorithm.
Yeah,
It's all an algorithm.
they're like watching you so hard all day, 24/7, that they're like, oh, he's probably thinking about this. Send it to him. And they hit it.
And they have a database of previous conversations, things you've said, things you've thought about that are all run through this
Even if you've
algorithm.
never said it, I've seen shit where I've never said it out loud, but like I thought about it for probably like 5 or 10 minutes before, and it just pops up as like one of my like targeted.
Next time you're
things. I'm
scrolling
like, what the
YouTube
fuck?
Shorts, make some frowny faces when you watch a video, and it'll stop showing you those videos.
I believe that.
The camera can recognize what emotion is being displayed on
They
your
say
face.
it takes a picture like every 5 seconds.
Yep.
Just
Just takes a picture.
and it's watching your eyes.
Monitors what you're looking at. That's why if you stay on a video for a second too long, now you've got 1,000 of them in your feed. They're watching what you're looking at. They know how long you were on a video, what your facial reaction was to that video.
It knows when I want to jerk off too. On Twitter, I'll be just sitting there alone in the basement, just sitting there scrolling. It's usually just college football, political stuff, all that stuff. And then it'll be like late at night. I'll get back on Twitter again, and it's like, oh, it's showing me mommy milkers. It's showing me all this other shit. And I'm like, how do you know?
Oh, God.
Either that or I didn't even want to jerk off, but it's like, oh, it's time for him to do that. So Let's show him this shit.
Spark the image.
Literally spark it. And pornography, demonic stuff, dude.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because I've been trying. I went on SR for like. I got like 67 days in. No porn, no jerking off. I was retaining my seed for like 67 days straight, dude. I'm serious. I've done that shit. I tried it as an experiment. I don't know what it did or nothing, but
Didn't really do much of anything except make you frustrated every day.
you'll know. I noticed after about 3 weeks, you start just like without even. Here's a tip for dudes that are like scared to talk to chicks. Don't jerk off or watch porn or nut. Like, don't nut if you're scared to talk to chicks for like 3 weeks. Your mind just takes over. You will just immediately just start like talking.
Drops
to shit.
the walls.
It's because I think your brain's like, and your balls are telling your brain like,
Our only purpose is to procreate.
we got to do something because this dude ain't doing it, and we got to do something. Because it drops all the fucking walls, and it's just like, oh, we gotta fucking figure
Go time.
something out. Yeah, go talk to that chick over there. She's kind of cute. Like the Force.
Feel a disturbance.
The Force makes sense, dude. Like kind of it all. Have you ever noticed too? If you match up like spiritual stuff, politics, like everything, all somehow like all connects,
All you're supposed to do is take bits and pieces from the full picture
and it all connects though.
to build your own puzzle.
If you break it down, if you think about something, it all breaks down to like
Something very simple.
the same shit.
It's right there.
Yeah.
So, hey, this one thing serves like 15 different aspects of your life, and that is all boiled down to that one thing. You just take bits and
And it's
pieces
all
from
the
everything
same.
and formulate your own picture.
We talked about this before. What was that shit called? If something seems super complicated and you can't figure it out, the most simple thing that you're thinking of is probably the answer. God, what is that called?
I don't know.
But
I know the thought process that you're
It's
talking
called like the
about,
something
though.
effect. The it's the last 4 letters like Evian or some shit effect. And it's like if something's so complicated, all this shit, the answer's the most simple.
Most
fucking
likely the first answer you came
It's
to
like the
when
most
you asked
simple
yourself
shit.
the question.
thing. Yeah.
The first logical thing you're going to think of when you ask yourself a question is probably pretty good to start with. It's when you start doubting your decision in that first answer.
They call that anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah, when you start doubting yourself, the first thing your brain tells you, there's a good chance that's probably the path you need to be taking.
And then
But we doubt ourselves.
depression is like you're like, what is depression?
Depression is a lack of emotion.
It's like
You're literally just conscious. Your brain is not producing the chemicals that it needs to make you feel emotions. So you're just emotionless, and
Are we just a bag of chemicals?
literally, we are a bag of water and chemicals.
And
We're
it's what-
70% water. Our
and then
brain
this thing
functions
just
only on
tries to
chemicals.
function off of whatever we give it.
Yeah, chemicals and electricity. And if we're not giving it all the chemicals it needs, it's just gonna. All right, you're just gonna go to bed for a while until I can either fix this or you die. Good night. So you go. You get depression. It's your brain saying, "You're not giving me everything I need."
You know that girl Callie I was telling you about? She went to a fucking psychologist. And I fucking got in an argument with her about this. They put her on fucking antipsychotic medication. She's like 22. And I was talking to Courtney about it, and I was like, dude, do these people not understand? You're not going to figure everything out. You know what I'm saying? And my cousin Scotty's bad about that shit too, about like going to therapy and like psychologists and stuff, because like I guess girls or something like want to like try to figure everything out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've came to realize, and it's the quote that me and you talk about Socrates. All I know is I know nothing. You're never going to get to the bottom of everything, dude.
It's not there. You're not gonna find it.
And you have to. I only learned this whenever I was like 18 and 19, because my real like fucked up brain, all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But I think you start hitting it, and especially now, about 25, it hits even harder, where it's like, holy shit, I don't know anything. You do know that you figure it out. I don't know if you figured it out young, old, probably about 18, 19, where it's like your brain is a thing. It talks to you, right? But you have to tell it, like, hey, stop.
Well, there's a balance. Sometimes you got to calm yourself back down.
You got to take control of your brain. You don't need medication for that. You tell your brain, hey, it takes time to, like, tell your brain. Because whenever you're young.
It's not an overnight process.
But if you start working on it young, like 18, 19, you can, by the time you get our age, about 25, you're able to tell you're able to, like, know whenever your brain's, like, freaking out. Shit like that, you're able to be like, yeah, dude,
Calm down.
Stop. You're good. Okay. You don't need antipsychotics for that. You just have to take control of your brain.
Nobody
And I cannot
that.
pound that through their head. They don't get it.
Nobody understands
I told
that.
Scotty, I told Callie, I'm like, y'all don't need to go to a therapist or a psychologist.
They think if they don't wake up every day feeling the exact same way, there must be something wrong.
You have to take control of this piece of plastic.
The pink mushy thing between your ears.
You have to say, hey. And I was trying to tell him, too. I was like, you're never going to get to the bottom of everything. I was trying to tell Kelly, I was like, look, you go to the psychologist, you're taken care of. Your parents you have a great home. Your parents are great. All this stuff. I'm like, there's no reason for you to be on antipsychotic medication. That shit's going to make you go even crazier. You just got to know that you don't know.
And be okay with that.
And you just live with it. Because you're never going to know. And they don't get... Why do girls that are like that age not understand? Fallon kind of gets it. My sister does. But
it's
it's
just
probably
an
because
unfortunate reality.
Scotty and Callie, they don't get it. My sister, I think, kind of gets it. Because she's... Probably because she grew up with my dumb ass, crazy ass. Which is, she's probably like, yep. She probably just looks up and just goes, yep, that dude's an idiot. And doesn't know anything, but damn, he's...
Figured it out.
He's not crazy, but... He ain't figured it out, but like he's not crazy and freaking out about nothing. So
Doesn't have to take 15 pills just to get out of bed.
If that retard is just basically winging it, that's
fake it till you make it.
That's all life is not. You're just winging it.
Yeah,
because you're never gonna get to the bottom.
We don't know how this shit works.
I don't. Dude, here's what kills me, dude. It's like they want to get to the bottom of it. Is why they go to the therapist and the psychologist.
Mm.
And I was just trying to say, there's no bottom. It doesn't exist. Like
you're not there.
We don't know anything. And they're like, well, I don't feel right, and I have like problems and all this shit. And it's like everybody does. Everybody has problems. Everybody deals with it a different way. You don't need a antipsychotic medication because you have problems. The fuck? They don't get it, dude.
No.
This thing.
Like I said, it's an unfortunate reality.
And if you looked up the numbers, how many fucking people are on those things?
SSRIs,
antipsychotics, shit like that. It's like, dude, hey guys.
It's people running from the reality that they know nothing.
But I'm the opposite of that too, and you probably are too.
There's both ends of the spectrum.
I'm the opposite. It's like I want the reality of everything.
Yeah,
because that's like God's gift to you is your story and your reality that you're living in is God's gift to you, you don't need no fucking pills or nothing to change your brain chemistry.
You need to be under the assumption, like we've been saying, you know nothing.
Exactly.
Try to make the most of what you can.
And to all the people out there listening, if you're on any of that shit, I'm just gonna let you know, we're never gonna get to the bottom of it. Never.
It doesn't happen.
Everybody's got fucking
It's
problems.
literally designed to keep us from ever figuring out.
Like you said, everybody's got problems. Just you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, stop taking these fucking crazy ass pills. It makes people shoot up schools.
It makes it worse.
It makes people shoot up schools.
It makes it worse.
Did you know I seen some shit. They were talking about it on a war mode. 97% of school shooters are on SSRIs and antipsychotic medication, dude.
Yes.
What
It negates all of your brain's normal activities.
And you're like,
it takes it away.
and you're not living in the finding the synchronicities and
Finding the peace.
and never figuring it out because there's always going to be new stuff that happens over and over. It's like, dude, look, I know life's crazy. That's why you're here. It's God's gift to you.
Yeah. Figure it out.
Guys.
Have fun, but figure it out.
Exactly.
There it is. But
Man,
it's just not widespread. Most people do not. They just fall victim to the bubble that they're in. One
they're
day the bubble
young.
pops.
And they're young, and I told Callie, I told Callie and my cousin Scotty too. I was like, look, and I made a joke about it too because they were talking about going to the therapist and like the psychologist, and I'm like, oh, I'm a self-certified psychologist. It's true. I listen to all those Carl Jung books and the synchronicities. And all that shit.
Self-certified.
I think I'm a self-certified psychologist, but I was just telling them, I was like, dude, I've read into the psychology books a lot of shit because I sent you that one the other day, the one about synchronicities. I couldn't get through the second chapter though, on that Carl Jung one.
Yeah.
That first one was good, but the second one he was talking too many numbers.
Way too deep.
He was going,
way too deep.
he was-
And I was like, I'm going down the road. I don't have time for this right now.
he was going through like the numbers and like the
Yeah.
percentages of like. Oh, no, I got the gist. Carl Jung, like, hey, look at the percentages of this happening, and it's all matching up. You know, basically, was what he was saying was like, this is crazy, yeah. But those first couple, I was just telling him, I was like, look, self-certified psychologist, you're gonna be good. Y'all don't need to fucking go to no therapy, all this shit. Yeah, and their lives are good. They live in America. It could be so much worse.
Oh, yeah.
And they have to go
Oh,
get
yeah.
on. It could be so much. Dude, this chick ain't worked since January. Her fucking her daddy's a preacher, takes care of her, gives her all the money she wants, and she's on antipsychotic medication, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? She's 22 years old, doesn't work, does not go to college, doesn't do none of this shit. Just goes around and just fucks dudes. And basically that's it. And fucking does drugs. And then she has problems in her
Oh.
brain.
Oh.
And I see this shit in real life. I see this shit.
Not
Jesse.
living a fulfilling lifestyle, are we?
I meet these people in real life, and I see it, and it makes me want to be like, dude, if you could just come in my brain with me one day, and then I'll put you back in your brain at the end of that day, and you'll probably look at me and just go, like nearly fried. Just be fried after. Just be like, yo, holy shit.
Yeah.
Because it ain't that fucking hard.
Welcome to the shit show. It's actually a little bit easier than you think it is.
I don't understand why everybody's trying to get to the bottom of it. You know, that's
Everybody wants answers.
the only reason I think everybody's on SSRIs and antipsychotic shit is because they're trying to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And they have
We live in a very real, very 3D, very logical driven world, and everybody has to have an answer for everything. And the biggest question that everybody has is, where did I come from?
that, but also, like me and you said one time, you know that, like, we're logical, we're living in a society, all this shit. I wonder if people don't know, like, what me and you talked about. You shut the lights off for 3 days. Your antipsychotic medication is not doing nothing for you. because everybody's gonna be crazy. Like you start hearing windows break, like shit's hitting the fucking fan. This soft ass fucking society that we live in, where you go to the fucking doctor, get antipsychotic medication because you can't fucking figure it. Man, shut the fucking lights off for 3 days and let's see if you still need them.
Yeah. Chill in your own head long enough to figure something out.
Yeah.
And it's the best medicine you can have. I listened to one guy. He said
You're
the
right.
best thing you can do is just turn the lights off and sit in silence
You're
for
right on that
60
shit.
minutes a day.
You're right on that shit. Because those people that are on all that shit aren't comfortable in here.
They're not comfortable. You have to be comfortable with yourself. You have to be perfectly content spending
How can
time
they
with
not
yourself.
be? Well, I remember being young and that shit erodes quickly the older you get. You know, like social anxiety and like thinking of like worrying about what people think about you. That shit is big whenever you're like 16, 17, 18, even 19, 20.
Mine didn't dissolve until I was already 25 years old.
Mine dissolved around 22, but I've always been out and fucking just kind of realized it. But our mothers, we probably hit that early because there's people way older than us that are still
That
worried.
still live that way. Image is all that matters.
Our mothers, the Valley girls,
Yeah.
they are probably a big part why we realized that so early because they do not give a fuck. They do say whatever the fuck they want. They don't care.
Yeah, there's no tact there.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's just, I'm saying what I feel. I don't give a fuck what you think. Basically,
Sometimes it makes social interactions a little uncomfortable. Because
yeah,
it's
and
like,
they don't give a fuck. The Valley girls don't give a fuck about no uncomfortable situations either. Have you noticed that shit? They're like,
Yeah.
no, fuck you. I'm like, yeah. Whenever you,
yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
both of our mom, because I know you get a Valley girl mom, I got a Valley girl mom.
It's not there.
They almost want to make it uncomfortable on purpose sometimes with people.
They look for it.
They're like, yeah,
Love you, Mom, but you do look for drama.
I love you too, mom.
as
but-
much as you hate it.
Yeah, I love you too, mom. You do the same thing.
You say you hate it, but there you go creating it.
I hate drama, and then just starts the damn
Just
whole
start
thing.
shit right here. Every family, you finally get all the family over here. First time in 2-3 years, they're just gonna start some shit.
But that's the whole point about like, imagine being like a 35-year-old dude, and you're still worried about what people think about you.
It creates a very negative lifestyle.
And those
for
are
you.
real people.
Because you're constantly self-conscious about what you do, how you present yourself, what you say, what you do, what you don't do.
And I feel like I'm being real judgmental right now towards like Callie, Scotty. My sister really don't give a shit, even because I called that shit out yesterday. But I feel like, because I told him, I feel like I'm being judgmental, but I feel like I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I'm just saying what I think is fucking true to him. It's like, you don't need all that shit.
No.
Because you're never going to, I straight up told him, I was like, you're never going to figure it out. Because it's constant, that's all there is change. It changes every fucking day.
Every day. It doesn't stop.
That pill ain't going to fucking help you. Your brain, if you're uncomfortable right now, you got to, what do they call it? Reflect it. How about that? It's pretty simple. Reflect. You got to go fucking look yourself in the mirror and say, hey,
You have to spend time with yourself.
you got to go look in the mirror and be like, this is me.
You have to spend time with yourself.
Like basically like that meme, like you're pointing yourself in the mirror like, hey, that's you. You're in here.
Yeah. You cannot live your life comparing yourself to others.
I can't believe people like being that uncomfortable in your skin that you got to go to like a psychiatrist or therapist or something and get a fucking pill.
I've experienced anxiety a few times in my life, but I don't understand people that go to the doctor for their anxiety.
Yeah, but
Like,
that's another thing, man. You're hitting on all my good ones right now. Me and you talked about this anxiety and depression. There's good days. There's bad days. There's good days. There's bad days. There's good days. You're happy at 9 a.m. You might be fucking pissed at 12:30. You might be sad at 1:15. You're happy again at 2:30. dude, who the fuck knows, dude, how the shit works? You don't need a motherfucking pill to do the shit. It changes constantly.
Yeah. Or you make it up for yourself. Because I've had really bad days at work, and then I get in the van and then on the way home, I'm hit with such a.
Being
And
sober,
I'm just happy again.
being basically sober but drinking, going through all those fucking emotions is wild, though.
How can you be sober but drinking?
You know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying.
We ain't doing some crazy shit. I will take mushrooms every now and then. I will hit a joint like once every 2 or 3 fucking weeks, you know, just to tune it up a little bit. That's a big one. That makes you real fucking anxious, like paranoid almost, like
Fuck.
yeah. It makes you think about everything real deeply. Those Amanita muscarias, dude, I gave some to my sister for her birthday and made her cry. And I understood it. And I was like, Fallon, they're working on you, because I about freaked out earlier because I was thinking about, I was feeling so much feelings for like everybody around me. And I was like, you know what I was saying? And I know what she was feeling whenever she was, because she ate 3 of them. Yeah. And I was like, I know what you're feeling. You're feeling for everybody right now. You know what I'm saying? You're like feeling for everybody. And you're like, oh.
Everything is perfect.
You can like see through other people's eyes where you're like, oh, they're going through shit too.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to look at yourself through somebody else's eyes?
Dude, I do that.
That's a very awakening. Just imagine yourself in a situation where you've been around somebody that you
I'm
love.
like I've looked at this shit before like that, and I'm like what I must look like from the outside, to me, like looking at it through like Scotty's eye, like a bunch of my families, it must be like militant. He does get fucked up, but that motherfucker shows up to work every fucking day, and he's still trying to do shit on the side. Like, he doesn't, like militant, like doesn't stop. Is doing, going. He works out, goes. Just, he's always trying to fucking do something, is what it looks like. But he also does get fucked up and then says fucking the wildest shit.
I feel like that's the image you're supposed to create for yourself, as one that has his shit under control. But once you finally get under like closed doors, you finally get to let yourself a little loose and go, fuck, I don't know anything. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, I have that shit where it's like, I may seem
as if I have the reins of this horse controlled,
but
I'm falling the fuck off of it.
I'm just locked in, dude. You're like, you know what you got to do, and if you just do it, stay consistent. But deep down, you're like,
I'm so fucking tired of this shit.
that's why I crashed out today. Is because I think my little inner monologue that's way down in there is like, okay, we have stayed.
We are done.
We have stayed with the path for this long, and we're still getting fucked. It's time to say something.
Time to quit.
Not even that, but what's the other thing? It was like I may seem like I'm just like a drunk retard on the outside, but low key, I'm very anal about everything. Like, has this like, if you work with me, like in real life, like if you actually work with me, you're gonna be like, this dude's a psychopath. He's fucking just gets it done.
And then go home.
But then after I get home and I open that first beer, I'm like, hey! And they're like, that dude's a retard. How's he so
he's
good
an
at his
idiot.
job?
He just wants to come home and drink every day. It's like, well, you'd want to too.
Do you ever wish you could do that? Like at work? I wish I could just, like whenever people, here's one thing that pisses me off about work. Whenever people try to, like, whenever you're bitching about something, like if I'm ever bitching about something like, man, dude, this shit fucking sucks, like all this shit, somebody else would be like, man, your round ain't that bad, all that shit. You're like, motherfucker, you ain't never ran it. Whenever somebody says something about like some shit you're doing and they ain't never done it before, that's one thing that pisses me off to no end.
I don't run into that very often.
I say that, and I will say that to people like straight up. I'm like, you've never done this before, so why are you talking?
Well, it's a valid argument.
And just being that blunt and calling out shit like that is very effective in an argument.
Oh, it's extremely effective.
It was like me calling out, like I was talking about, if you just call it like something for what it is in an argument, it literally works every time.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
if you call
can
it-
completely take down somebody else's defenses
Like
doing
in spades, if you just straight up say what the situation is, kind of like how Joe Rogan lets somebody talk.
Mhm.
If you just say what it is, because if you like know you're right and you say what it is, you just win immediately.
Yeah.
Because the other person can't like really argue their way out of the.
that. Well, there's no argument against the truth,
Yeah.
and that's just the reality of it. If you come out with a very well-grounded, very truthful, very factual viewpoint on something, it's hard for anybody trying to defend what they're trying to say, because what you've just said obliterated everything they were trying to defend.
That's called a nuke.
And it's like, are you really fixing to try and defend this?
Nuked.
Get wrecked.
Exactly. Man, and I love psychology. You love that shit too? or no?
I like the operations of the brain and the way we
like
think,
how it works.
and the way that it functions, what it needs, how it can behave, how it can mess with us.
This shit tries to go.
It tries to fuck with you, and sometimes it tries to walk the fuck out.
Yeah.
But it's all just part of the process of keeping yourself.
Do
in
you ever have to
line.
like take like a day to recharge every now and then where you're like,
There are days where I completely tune the fuck out,
And
I
you
have
don't
no
wanna
interest
talk-
in anything.
you don't want to talk to nobody.
I'm almost ill all day, but if you'll just give me a little bit.
But you're not ill, though.
I'm not ill. I'm not ill.
I know
I
what
just
you're talking about.
seem ill.
And whenever people come try to talk to you, like in my house, it's like, damn, he seems pissed off. But I'm like, I'm not pissed.
Right now, I have no interest.
I'm just recharging.
Right now, I'm reevaluating.
Yes. Because I seem like I got that rest and dickhead face where it's like, but I'm not pissed, not nothing.
I'm resetting, essentially. Yeah.
The little, the
The
circle.
little loading, or the Treyarch symbol just sitting there doing
Yes. Just hold on. Let me
Just let me.
absorb what. That's almost like absorbing. Let me absorb the whole thing, and then what's my next step forward now?
It's a process.
That's why they always ask, why does a dude sit in his car for like 20 minutes outside of his house before he walks inside the house?
Absorb and erase the day before you begin the other part of the day.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah. Get rid of it.
my neighbor does that shit because he just had a brand new kid. He'll be at home already, like in his damn work truck, and I'll pull up down the driveway because he gets off about the same time I do, and he's just sitting in his damn van. I know he's been sitting there for like 20 minutes. So he just ain't went in the house to his wife and his new kid yet. He's just sitting there, just like not having. He don't have his phone in his hand or nothing. He's just sitting there,
Just sit. Yeah.
just chilling, dude.
I found myself outside the other day, sitting in my chair, just spur of the moment, impulsive decision. Walked outside, sat down in the chair, and just no phone, no nothing. Had no idea where my phone even was. I lose that fucker so much. I'll just lay it somewhere down the house. I was just outside, just. It was like an hour and a half went by. I was like, I guess I need to tune back in, don't I?
Yeah.
Out of the chair. Full reset. I felt so much better after that.
I wonder, man, what makes people be able to fall for that shit too? Like the propaganda, like what goes on in the brain.
The propaganda. This will help you.
What was that quote too? If the government
Trust the science, Hagen.
if the government ever says we're coming to help you, it's a bad
Ronald
sign.
Reagan.
Yeah, it's a
The
terrible
worst
sign.
words you can ever hear is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
it's,
this
and
thing
it's all
is-
the government.
This thing for a lot of people, this brain, dude, that shit gets easily taken over.
Eat fruit, eat meat, get sun. Done.
Yeah, and it gets taken over
Oh,
by
yeah.
like shit quick. If you're
Well,
not,
you start trying to align yourself with another group's opinions because you feel like you support that.
have you noticed that?
And everybody just lives their lives trying to support their opinions. Their whole life is to express their opinions.
And we're lucky we're the same age, because I've started to get that. I don't know if it's the mushrooms or nothing, or just turning 25 and being fully developed brain. Aligning with like anything, there's always something in the back that's like,
I can take viewpoints. I can take opinions.
And it
I can
changes.
agree with them. I can disagree with them.
mine change with like, if I find out new information, it changes.
Yes.
That's
what it's supposed to do.
I don't like stay
That's
strict.
what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. Because you remember whenever we were like 16, 17, you're like, right.
You take me at 15, 16
Like,
years old.
Republican all the way through.
I am hardcore against everything. I absolutely not.
Now it's like new information. And like you were saying, new information, I guess
it's a constantly evolving process.
and it never stops, dude.
It doesn't. Unfortunately. But fortunately.
And there's
Because you
one
can
thing
never
is,
stagnate.
we're never going to get to the bottom of it, dude. What is
Never.
out there in space, dude? We may never know. Is space
Not
even
in
real?
our lifetime. Not in our lifetime. We're not going to know.
It's like sitting here. I swear, those mushrooms have to have a lot to do with it.
You think so?
Every time I'm taking them, I've been like, I've got more and more like taken aback to where it's like, oh,
Like you're getting pushed away. Bigger picture every time.
yeah, where it's like, oh,
Ta-da!
and then you can almost freak out on them, and then you're going, hold on, I'll never
Everything's
figure.
fine.
I'm good.
Everything's fine.
I'm never gonna figure all this shit out anyway. Combining it with a fully developed brain, which is what Courtney tells me. She's like, "Oh, you're 25. Male's brains finally fully develop at 25. It's probably what it is." Because I was asking her, I was like, "Am I having like a quarter life crisis or some shit?" And she's like, "Your brain is just like finally fully
You
developed.
finally got all your connections built.
It's like finally fully developed, Hagen. Quit being retarded." She's like, "You're just growing up," and I'm like, "You're right."
Well, my dad swears to this day that at 25 it was like a switch got flipped.
Yes.
Yep.
And it was after the 2 months after your birthday.
Yeah.
About 2 months.
Yeah.
Mine was
In
in
between
December.
2 and 3 months.
About 2 and 3 months after your birthday, it was like, hold up.
Yeah,
Wait
because
a minute.
come February, I had a completely different, like a shock. It's like,
But that came with development, though, because the 2 months before the flip got switched, you're thinking the whole time, like, hold up, wait a minute.
something's
Every day,
coming.
and it's every day.
Mm-hmm.
You're like,
Something's
wait,
coming.
hold on. I think it's the fully developed brain, and it's like letting go of like the high school shit, and you're like, oh,
It's like trying to start a diesel engine, and it just glug, glug, glug,
and then finally after like 2 months, you're like, oh
glug,
shit,
glug, the fire starts happening. Glug, 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 glug.
and then it fires up, and it's like, grrr, oh shit,
Oh, there it is.
it's just me.
It took me this long to figure that out.
It took me this long to figure out it's just me.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
There it is.
Yeah. It's oh my god, I'm alone. It's just me. I wonder if that comes with like, oh, because people come and go and all the shit, and then
There are constants.
Your brain
and then
fully
there are
develops.
variables.
your brain fully develops, and you're 25. You're like, damn, I am 25. Oh, it's just me. I wonder if every dude's just sitting there after a while. It has to happen to every dude.
I think it has to build your character. Some people can't handle it, and some people can.
That's the whole thing about like SSRIs. Dude, that must block character building. Those antipsychotics and SSRIs must block character building. That must like stop it.
They hinder your brain function to stop your brain from doing certain things.
Because every day you're still learning and doing all this shit, and then
It tries to take away the negatives. When you're feeling sad and you're feeling down, that's what those are trying to do. They're trying to take those emotions away to where the only thing you can ever experience is the good things. Well, guess what your brain needs? Both of them. So
Yeah.
if you take out the bad, you don't get to experience the bad. Your brain starts to make weird things
I should have
feel
told
like
him
good
that.
things.
I'll tell him that next time. Not everything's good, dude.
Not everything's good.
You're gonna have some shit. Sometimes, like some shitty fucking times sometimes,
You're
dude.
gonna go through shit. That's just part of the process.
Character development.
That's character.
No wonder they can just
It's like this table getting all beat up and dinged and going through everything. It adds character.
No wonder they can just fuck dudes and not give a shit. How many chicks are on SSRIs?
To them, they're just trying to get a dopamine hit.
Dude.
There it is.
They must all be on that shit, dude. A lot of them. Well, there are some normal ones. They're not normal. None of them are. They are wild. Girls are crazy. My dad told me, I don't know if you can relate, but he's like, whenever I had a daughter, he was like, I always knew girls were like weird, crazy, like wild as fuck. But he's like, they're like that from the time they come out. That's what he told me. He's like, dude, they're like that from the time they come out. They're wildly emotional, fucking crazy from the time they come out of that thing.
I've got a 6-year-old. Ask me how I know.
So you see chicks is like the same as my dad does. Is like, oh, they don't just develop like that way. They are.
They are that way. They're programmed that way.
That
We are
is.
programmed wild to start, but we calm down as we go.
Yeah.
They come out with everything is full fire all the time.
He's
So
like,
if
they're wildly
it's time to be
emotional.
upset about this, it's time to be fully upset about this. If it's time
Yeah.
to be happy about this, it's time to be fully happy about this. I could be happy about 12 different things,
And you're just
mad
sitting
about
there just
15 other
witnessing.
things, and sitting here just
And you're just sitting here just witnessing your daughter just.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling, dude.
it's a mess.
That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. We good?
Yes.
3 hours.
Working up a hunger.